Chapter 585. Su Xiaoyan's current name was Shen Lizhen. She had a fiery temper, and even scolded her own daughter without hesitation. After a few words, Su Xiaoyan's eyes turned red. "Mom, it's my brother's fault. How can he take the company's money? It's the company's money. He's embezzling. Li Tu is just doing his job." Su Xiaoyan defended herself. T. Bullying him is bullying. What's wrong with taking some money? It's only a few thousand. It's more than 200,000. So what if it's 200,000? Your brother is still young. He can't earn this much money. I don't care. You have to get him out. He's about to get engaged. If he goes to jail, he won't be able to get a wife. I'm telling you, if he goes to jail, it's all your fault. Slap. After that, Shen Lizhen hung up the phone without giving Su Xiaoyan any chance to explain. At night, Wang Zhong finally returned home. He saw Su Xiaoyan walking over with red eyes. "Brotherly, my mom is angry with me." "Okay. So?" Actually, Wang Zhong had already considered this when he arrested Su Peng. So he didn't find it strange. "Brotherly, let my brother go. He's still young." "Hehe Xiaoyan, if I let your brother go now then what? It's not like you don't know your brother's character. When the time comes, he'll become even worse. He'll pester you for money and even annoy me. Letting him in now is to change him." Wang Zhong spoke with conviction. Su Xiaoyan frowned. "But my mom." "Don't worry about it. Just say that I'm ignoring you. You can't do anything about it." Su Xiaoyan didn't say anything. She lowered her head and kept quiet. Wang Zhong's tone softened. He walked over and comforted her. "Don't worry. Letting your brother suffer now is to let him know what's good for him. Otherwise, he'll suffer more in the future. Understand? Okay." Su Xiaoyan felt that Wang Zhong was the person who treated her the best. So she trusted him a lot. She thought that Wang Zhong's words made sense. The next day, Su Xiaoyan called her mother Shen Lizhen. "Mom, I told my boss. He's ignoring me now." "What? She's ignoring you?" "Yeah, he gets annoyed whenever he sees me. It's all because of my brother. I can't do anything about it now." "What the F***ck? Is this Li Tu trying to deny it after sleeping with you?" Shen Lizhen was incomparably angry. "You useless thing, just you wait, I'll deal with him." Not bad, not bad. It actually increased by so much. On this day, Wang Zhong looked at his stock account and was overjoyed. The first 5 million yuan stock he bought had fallen a little in the past few days. So he dumped it and made more than 1 million yuan. Secondly, Yao Bing had bought a company in Mingzhou in order to take revenge on him. That company had become popular and had earned tens of millions of yuan. Moreover, it seemed that it had the potential to continue growing. Now that he calculated it, he had already earned more than 50 million in this short period of time. However, now that his expenses were high, he was thinking about where to invest next. At this moment, someone walked in with an invitation. Invitation card. Wang Zhong frowned. He looked at the name and was amused. Mao Jianhua and Yi Leiqian. In the end, Yi Leiqian was still taken over by Mao Jianhua. The last time he had a meal with Mao Jianhua, they were a little unhappy. At first, Wang Zhong thought that Mao Jianhua would not invite him because of his temper. He did not expect that he would still invite him. Wang Zhong guessed that he was probably thinking of asking for a bigger share of the money. It was no wonder that Wang Zhong thought so. He did not have a good impression of Mao Jianhua. And the only good impression he had was of his wife. That skill could not be achieved without 3 to 5 years of training. Just as he was considering whether to go or not, Mao Jianhua called. "Li Tu, have you received the invitation?" "Yes, I have. We had some misunderstandings earlier, but it's fine. I've thought about it. To each his own. Business is business and friends are friends. Let's forget about the past. This time, you must come to my wedding." Actually, Mao Jianhua had his own thoughts. Wang Zhong was now considered a tycoon. If he came, he would give a small red packet. If the other students gave 1,000 yuan, he would at least give 10,000 yuan. Otherwise, how could he live up to his identity as a millionaire? "Okay, I will be there." All of his classmates would be going. If he didn't go, it would seem too much. Therefore, Wang Zhong agreed. After hanging up the phone, Mao Jianhua smiled at Yi Leiqian, who was lying on the bed. Done, honey. You are so smart. He agreed to come. Of course. I persuaded him to come with a few words. When the time comes, he will give us a big red packet. That's right. This time, it was Yi Leiqian's idea to let Mao Jianhua send the invitation to Wang Zhong. In Yi Leiqian's opinion, Wang Zhong was now a tycoon. If she did not let him come for the wedding, when would she let him come? I'm smart. I think you didn't think of it. Yi Leiqian said happily while lying on the bed. Yes, my wife is smart. Mao Jianhua said. His eyes were shining as he looked at Yi Leiqian's long legs. For the past 2 days, he had enjoyed a pleasure that he had never experienced before with Yi Leiqian. Sometimes he wondered why Yi Leiqian knew so much about that. He had asked her once. Yi Leiqian said that she had watched that kind of film before, so she knew a little about it. Mao Jianhua believed her. In his opinion, Yi Leiqian was very innocent. How could such a good girl mess around? After lunch, Wang Zhong was thinking about how many red packets to give to Mao Jianhua. Suddenly, there was a commotion outside the door. The receptionist suddenly ran in and said anxiously, Mr. Li, there is an old woman outside causing trouble. She. What did she say? She said you bullied her family, and she wants you to go out. At the same time, Su Xiaoyang called. Brother Li, my mother just called. She said you are causing trouble. I can't stop her. Okay. After hanging up the phone, Wang Zhong walked out of the room. At the door, an old woman was still pushing with the security guard. Let me in. I want to see who he is. He dares to bully my Su family. He must be tired of living. Li Tu, come out. This old woman looked a bit like Su Xiaoyan. The only difference was that she had a fierce look on her face. At first glance, one could tell that she was an expert in scolding. I am Li Tuesday, Wang Zhong walked over and said lightly. He knew that the old woman in front of him was Su Xiaoyan's mother, Shenla's hen. Good. Very good. Come out. Wang Zhong walked out calmly and said, What do you want to say? You caused my son to go to jail, and played with my daughter. What do you think I should say? It seems that you still don't understand one thing. Wang Zhong looked directly at Shenla's hen and said, Do you think that you can make me compromise by causing trouble in my company? Old lady, this is not the countryside. You can't succeed by causing trouble. Do you believe that I can not only make your son go to jail with one phone call, but also let the people in jail break his legs? You. Shenla's hen was speechless. Her face was full of fear. To her son was her life. Wang Zhong continued. If you are smart, your son will at most be locked up for 1.5 years. At that time, I will also give your daughter a sum of money. Otherwise, if you continue to cause trouble, he. Wang Zhong took out his phone and said, I am worth hundreds of millions. I can casually take out a few million to make your son suffer a little in jail. Don't blame me if he becomes a cripple. When dealing with this kind of unreasonable woman, you must not spoil her, let alone reason with her. Otherwise, she will take advantage of your face. The best way is to let her fully feel your arrogance, and not to be trifled with. The best way is to let her think of you as a lawless gangster. Then she will be terrified. Wang Zhong's words made Shen Lijian's heart twitch. She did not expect that Wang Zhong, such a big boss, was not a gentle person. Instead, he was more like a hooligan. She was really scared. She acted shamelessly because she knew that some people in the city would not dare to make a fuss and beg for mercy when the time came. However, Wang Zhong was not that kind of person. Not only that, but he also accurately grasped her weakness and used her son to threaten her. You are breaking the law. I will call the police. Of course, Shenla's hen would not admit defeat so easily. She pointed at Wang Zhong and trembled. Ha, old lady, you are already so old. You still believe in this kind of thing. Don't you know that the rich are the masters? I know a lot of big brothers here. Believe it or not, with just a phone call, those big brothers will let their friends in jail deal with your son. If you are polite to me now, I will let him go. Otherwise, I will kill your whole family. Shenla's hen could not help but tremble a little. For a moment, she really did not dare to say anything. She thought of the village bully in the village. In the village, she was a master of quarreling. She was not afraid of anything, but the village bully in the village. In her opinion, Wang Zhong in front of her was more powerful than the village bully, because the village bully did not have as much money as him. Li. Boss Li, actually I didn't mean that. I was just pleading for my son. Please don't be angry. Shen Lizhen softened and did not dare to speak. Forget about pleading. Your son King messed up my villa. Do you know how much I lost? He also embezzled so many customers' deposits. I am already giving Su Xiaoyan face by not getting someone to chop him up. Then what should we do? Nothing much. Your son will definitely go to jail. However, I can give your family face and let him stay for 2 or 3 years. However, during this time, you are not allowed to harass me, and you are not allowed to bother Su Xiaoyan. Otherwise I will break your legs. Yes, I know. Shen Lizhen did not dare to say anything else. Her submissive appearance now was completely different from before. Shen Lizhen left in a daze. After a while Su Xiaoyan rushed in. She was shocked when she found that her mother had already left. Brotherly, how did you make my mother leave without saying a word? Su Xiaoyan asked in surprise. Wang Zhong smiled proudly and told her what happened. No wonder my mother told me not to mess with you. She also said that if you want my brother to stay in jail for 2 years, then so be it. Su Xiaoyan breathed a sigh of relief and finally let go of this matter. Chapter 586. Yao Bing was putting on her makeup. Today was the day of Mao Jianhua and Yi Leiqian's wedding. As a girl, of course, she had to dress herself up. However, she had some strange thoughts in her mind, because Wang Zhong and Chen Jiqiang would be attending the wedding today. To be honest, she did not want to see either of them. In the past, she admired Chen Jiqiang's scholarly spirit, and thought that he would achieve great things sooner or later. However, after half a year of interaction, she was very disappointed. Chen Jiqiang was only good in his studies, but his social skills and ability were too bad. As for Wang Zhong, when she thought about how this person brought her to a hotel twice and saw her best things, she was so angry that her teeth were itching. However, she admitted that in terms of ability, Wang Zhong's ability was much better. What should I wear? Yao Bing looked at the mirror and took out a few sets of underwear. That hollowed-out one is not bad. Suddenly, a voice came from behind. Ah! Yao Bing jumped in fright. Turning her head, she didn't know when Wang Zhong had appeared behind her. When did you come? She was changing her clothes just now. How could Wang Zhong suddenly appear in her room? This did not make sense. Haha, I've been here for a long time. Wang Zhong walked over with an evil smile. Scumbag, no, don't come over. At this moment, Yao Bing suddenly opened her eyes and looked around the room. There was no one around. I actually had a nightmare. This Li Tu is really haunting me. Yao Bing complained and rubbed her forehead. Today was Mao Jianhua's wedding day. It was time for her to get up and prepare. Ring, ring, ring. A phone call came in. Yao Bing looked at it and saw that it was Wang Zhong. In her heart, she did not want to pick up the phone because Wang Zhong had bullied her before. Even when she asked for his help, this guy asked to dance with her. However, if she did not pick up the phone, what if something happened to him? Yao Bing still picked up the phone, but her attitude was very bad. Scumbag, what's the matter so early in the morning? Hey, you don't have to scold me so early in the morning. Wang Zhong was speechless. Yao Bing was secretly proud of herself for being unreasonable. She did not give up and said, if you don't say it, I'm hanging up. Alright. I just wanted to ask when you're going. I know that place. I think I'll pass by here. Why don't I pick you up? You don't have to answer it. Alright then, but I'm already downstairs. Are you sure you don't need it? I'll give you one last chance to think it through. Alright. Seeing that you're here, I'll come down later. Yao Bing herself didn't know why, but she fell for Wang Zhong's tricks. She agreed to it as if she was possessed. That's smart. I'll wait for you. After waiting for more than an hour, Yao Bing dressed up beautifully and came downstairs in a long dress. Seeing Yao Bing's delicate appearance, Wang Zhong was surprised. Not bad, clothes really make the woman. I didn't expect you to dress up so beautifully. Yao Bing rolled her eyes at Wang Zhong. Let's go. It's already past 9 o'clock. We still need half an hour to get there. Alright. By the way, you eat breakfast every day. It's for you. This Li Tu was quite thoughtful. It would be a lie to say that she wasn't touched. When they arrived at the entrance of the hotel, the guests had already arrived in twos and threes. For this wedding, Mao Jianhua had put in a lot of effort. The venue was a local hotel. There were more than 50 tables of banquet. You go in first, Yao Bing mumbled after getting out of the car. Why? Are you embarrassed to go with me? Wang Zhong asked. I don't want to be misunderstood. All right. Wang Zhong expressed his absolute respect. By the way, how much did you prepare in your red packet? $1,000. The other classmates all got the same amount. Okay. Wang Zhong decided to give her $1,000 as well. As they walked in, they saw Mao Jianhua and Yi Leiqian, the newlyweds, standing at the entrance to receive guests. Old classmate, Miss Yi, congratulations. Wang Zhong smiled. You're welcome. Li Tu, go in. Old classmates are all seated. Mao Jianhua was very polite. The reason for his politeness was naturally because of Wang Zhong's red packet. Otherwise he wouldn't have bothered with them. Yi Leiqian, on the other hand, was particularly enthusiastic about Wang Zhong. Previously, she felt that she had suffered a great loss because of Wang Zhong. However, after knowing about Wang Zhong's wealth, she felt that there was still a possibility between Wang Zhong and her. If he still wanted her, she could offer a high price. After Wang Zhong entered, he saw a group of old classmates sitting at two tables. One of the tables was occupied by Chen Jiqiang. When Chen Jiqiang saw Wang Zhong, his face instantly sank. In fact, he didn't want Mao Jianhua to call Wang Zhong over. He didn't want to delay his reconciliation with Yao Bing. However, Mao Jianhua didn't listen to him on this matter. After all, Mao Jianhua also wanted to get more money. After a while, Yao Bing walked in. Yao Bing was a standard first-rate beauty. Once she appeared, many people were shocked. Bing Bing, over here. Chen Jiqiang walked over immediately. Chen Jiqiang, there's nothing between us. Don't pester me. Chen Jiqiang was about to speak when Wang Zhong walked over with a smile. Isn't this my woman? Who's your woman? Li Tu, don't talk nonsense. Chen Jiqiang knew that Wang Zhong would come over to cause trouble. But he didn't expect him to be so bold as to say that Yao Bing was his woman. One had to know that even he didn't dare to say this sentence. If you don't believe me, then ask Bing Bing. Chen Jiqiang looked at Yao Bing in disbelief. Yao Bing frowned and said, Go away. As she spoke, Yao Bing was about to find a seat alone. How is it? She's not sitting with you. Wang Zhong walked to Yao Bing's side and said softly, Bing Bing, you're not giving me face. After all, I sent you here in the morning. Let's go, I'll sit there. No need. Yao Bing said firmly. All right, then I'll tell you about us getting a room. Wang Zhong said calmly. Yao Bing was really scared. She gritted her teeth and said, Scumbag. Although she scolded him, she still went to sit beside Wang Zhong. This guy. Chen Jiqiang gritted his teeth, but he felt powerless. Before the wedding ceremony, the host started his speech. On this beautiful day, with birds chirping and flowers blooming, are newlyweds. The ceremony was very long, making Wang Zhong sleepy. Yao Bing, on the other hand, was very excited when she saw the bride. This was the most important moment for a woman. Any normal woman would look forward to this moment, when they could be together with their loved one. Thinking of this, she sighed in her heart. It was a pity that her most precious thing had been seen by someone else. How could she face her loved one in the future? She couldn't help but complain to Wang Zhong again. Soon the ceremony ended. Mao Jianhua and Yi Leiqian went down to change their clothes and prepare for the toast later. Backstage, Mao Jianhua changed his clothes and couldn't wait to find his mother. Mom, how much did we get as a gift? My classmates gave us a lot, right? Mao Jianhua asked. Yes, everyone got 1,000 yuan. Not bad. Mao Jianhua's mother said happily. Mao Jianhua rubbed his hands and walked over to rummage through the red packets. What are you looking for? Someone called Li Tuesday. This guy is a big boss. He must have given us a lot. Li Tu, I seem to remember. You asked me to look for it. But it's not much. It's also 1,000 yuan. Impossible, he's such a big boss. Mao Jianhua was shocked. To him, Wang Zhong was such a big boss. If he gave him 1,000 yuan, wouldn't he be looking down on him? Wasn't he embarrassed? Then, he rummaged through Wang Zhong's red packet. Sure enough, when he opened it, he found that it was only 1,000 yuan. Damn, it's really only 1,000 yuan. Mao Jianhua was angry. He invited him to the wedding out of kindness, but he only gave him 1,000 yuan. How could he live up to his status? You embarrassed me, so I'll embarrass you too. Mao Jianhua cursed in his heart. Soon it was time for a toast. Mao Jianhua and Yi Leiqian toasted table by table. It was very lively. Finally, they reached Wang Zhong's table. Mao Jianhua politely clinked glasses with the other students, but ignored Wang Zhong who was beside him. He treated him like air. After drinking, Mao Jianhua purposely said to the other students, "It's nice to meet you guys, unlike some people who don't even want friends when they have some money." At this table, Wang Zhong was the richest. It was obvious who Mao Jianhua was talking about. This caused Wang Zhong's expression to change slightly, turning ugly. The others were confused. When others saw that Wang Zhong was rich, they couldn't wait to curry favor with him. But this Mao Jianhua actually made sarcastic remarks. Yi Leiqian also didn't know what Mao Jianhua was doing. She could only look at Wang Zhong apologetically and continue to sit with Mao Jianhua. Mao Jianhua seems to be angry with you, Yao Bing said proudly. She was very happy to see Wang Zhong being humiliated. You seem to be very happy to see me being humiliated. After Yao Bing said that, her face suddenly changed, because she felt a hand on her thigh. Li Tu, let go of me. Hee, I won't let go. Why don't you shout? Anyway, everyone knows that you're my woman. You. Yao Bing's voice sounded like she was about to cry. This was a public place. If she really shouted, it would be extremely embarrassing. Li Tu, let go. I beg you. Let me hear you call me husband. No. Yao Bing was resolute. Then I'll go inside. Don't. Yao Bing felt her whole body go soft. She could only clench her teeth and say, husband. Good girl. Wang Zhong smiled proudly. This woman was asking for a lesson. She was obviously obedient to him, but her mouth didn't let him go. Since this was the case, he had to teach her a lesson. After the ceremony, everyone started to eat. Wang Zhong was eating when a text message came in. Wang Zhong looked at it. It was from Yi Leiqian. Yi Leiqian, I'm sorry. Mao Jianhua drank too much. He didn't mean to say those words. Yi Leiqian sent Wang Zhong a message with the intention of letting Wang Zhong not be angry. After all, there weren't many rich people like him. How could her husband offend him? Chapter 587. Wang Zhong took a look at Yi Leiqian's message and was amused. He rolled his eyes and came up with an even worse plan. I'm not angry. Where are you now? Yi Leiqian. I'm removing my makeup backstage. What's wrong? Wang Zhong. I have something good for you. Do you want it? Yi Leiqian was delighted when she saw the message. Rich people were indeed rich. He didn't forget to give her a gift on her wedding day. He didn't give her one before, because there were too many people. Sorry. She couldn't wait to reply. Then give it to me. Jianhua is with a guest anyway. There's no one else here. That was a good hint. Wang Zhong got up and said to Yao Bing, I'm going to the toilet. Lazy people poop a lot. Yao Bing muttered. Wang Zhong went backstage. It was dinner time. His relatives and friends were all at the table. The waiters were also busy in the hall. After finding Yi Leiqian's place, Wang Zhong went in and locked the door. You're so annoying. Why did you lock the door? Yi Leiqian didn't have any resistance to Wang Zhong's coquettishness because she had done it with Wang Zhong before. Little girl, you look pretty good dressed up as a bride. Wang Zhong hugged Yi Leiqian. Aya, don't mess around. What's wrong? If you don't want me, I'm leaving. I won't give you anything. Ayo, I can't wait to like you. How can I let you go? Yi Leiqian was a simple person. She only loved money. Even if Wang Zhong was an old man now, she couldn't bear to let him go under the temptation of a gift. That's good. Come on. That's not good. This is a hotel. I've locked the door. Okay then. Yi Leiqian had no choice but to pray that Wang Zhong would recover soon. Ding. Received 20,000 yuan. After that, Wang Zhong said that he would give her a branded bag worth 120,000 yuan. So he transferred 120,000 yuan to her and told her to buy it herself. Yi Leiqian looked at the money she received on her phone and beamed with joy. Her voice became even more coquettish. "Boss Li, you're so generous." "Haha, it's fine. As long as you are obedient in the future, money is not a problem." Okay. By the way, how are your husband Mao Jianhua and Chen Jiqiang's projects recently? Someone has invested tens of millions in them. By then, you will be the boss's wife. Wang Zhong asked as if nothing had happened. How can it be that good? That boss wants 1,000,000 yuan security deposit before he is willing to lend the money. I'm so speechless. That Chen Jiqiang also has no money and is borrowing everywhere. Oh right, they also have their eyes on Yao Bing and want to get back together. Unfortunately, Yao Bing doesn't care about him, Yi Leiqian said without hesitation. In fact, she did not take Mao Jianhua seriously at all. She only married him because someone said that he would invest in them. But now, it seemed that the investment was still far away. By the way, President Li, why don't you invest in Jianhua? At most, I'll spend more time with you. Forget it, I don't do business at a loss. To be honest, the reason why he was still messing with Yi Leiqian was purely to take revenge on Mao Jianhua. Wang Zhong was actually not interested in her. However, he did not expect to hear news about Chen Jiqiang. This guy did not really want to get back together with Yao Bing, but wanted Yao Bing to give him 1,000,000 yuan security deposit. After leaving Yi Leiqian's place, Wang Zhong was surprised to see Chen Jiqiang sitting next to Yao Bing as soon as he went out. Bing, don't ignore me. I'm sincere to you. You see, I also bought you this. Under the watchful eyes of everyone, Chen Jiqiang took out a jewelry box and opened it. Inside it was a glittering gold necklace. It could be seen that Chen Jiqiang had spent a lot of money in order to get back together. Chen Jiqiang, why did you buy this? Yao Bing frowned. Chen Jiqiang's actions had a feeling that he was forcing her, which made her very uncomfortable. It was as if she was only worth this small necklace. Of course I bought it for you. Bing, I'm sorry about what happened before. Let me hang it for you. No need. Yao Bing shook her head helplessly. She knew why Chen Jiqiang did this. Under the watchful eyes of the crowd, he wanted to use this trick to make himself embarrassed to refuse. After all, there were so many people watching. However, Yao Bing was no longer the same as before. At this moment, she could not help but think of Wang Zhong. If it was Wang Zhong, he would not do such a childish thing like Chen Jiqiang, right? Oh, Chen Jiqiang, what did you do to my woman when I wasn't around? Wang Zhong's voice came, which made Chen Jiqiang slightly stunned. His face turned ugly. When did Bing become your woman? Chen Jiqiang said angrily. Oh, do you want me to talk about the interesting things between me and Bing? Yao Bing's face changed. Li Tu, don't talk nonsense. Okay, let's not talk about our things. Wang Zhong walked over with a smile. Under the watchful eyes of everyone, he hugged Yao Bing overbearingly and looked at Chen Jiqiang provocatively. Chen Jiqiang, did you see that? Can you do this? Yao Bing wanted to struggle and leave, but Wang Zhong's grip was too strong, making it difficult for her to break free. You guys. At this moment, no matter how thick-skinned Chen Jiqiang was, he could not say anything. He pointed at Wang Zhong and said, Okay, Yao Bing, you're shameless. When we were together, you had your eyes on Li Tu's money and became his mistress, right? Wow. Chen Jiqiang's words completely turned hostile. Chen Jiqiang, what did you say? Yao Bing looked at Chen Jiqiang in disbelief. She thought of how she tried to find investments for him, but all she got in return was a false accusation. Stop pretending, you gold digger poo. Chen Jiqiang turned around and left. Everyone, let's eat. It's just a quarrel between young people. Mao Jianhua's elder timely mediated. But how could Yao Bing eat at this moment? The more she thought about it, the angrier she became. Especially when she noticed that a few girls were looking at her strangely, as if they were looking at a gold digger. Sigh. This Chen Jiqiang is really good at talking nonsense. He can't get what he wants, so he starts spreading rumors about others. Seeing that Yao Bing was upset, Wang Zhong said, Yeah, Chen Jiqiang is really something. In my opinion, he's just a petty person. Isn't that so? How can there be such a person? Chen Jiqiang had no money or power, so naturally, no one was willing to speak up for him. Unfortunately, although everyone said so, Yao Bing was still upset. She stood up abruptly and said, "I'm full. Li Tu, send me off." Damn, what's going on? She's taking the initiative to ask for him. Wang Zhong was shocked. On second thought, he knew that Yao Bing was probably upset. Okay, what else could Wang Zhong say? After walking out, Yao Bing was still upset. After getting into the car, Yao Bing said with a cold face, "I want to drink." "You're treating?" Wang Zhong asked. Yao Bing looked at Wang Zhong in surprise. "You're still bullying me." I'm just kidding. Are you really angry?" "Actually, it's fine. Chen Jiqiang said that to make you angry. You can't be fooled." "I don't need you to remind me." "I know," Yao Bing said with a cold face. "It's good that you know. Why aren't you driving?" "Yes, my goddess," Wang Zhong said with a weird tone. Humph. Although Yao Bing snorted, her mood was quite good because of Wang Zhong's teasing. She cursed in her heart. What a scumbag. He even likes to take advantage of me when he speaks. Wang Zhong drove, and soon arrived at the place where they had steak last time. Yao Bing's mood was really bad. She started to indulge herself. In just 10 minutes, she drank 2 big glasses of red wine. Her originally red face became even redder. "Li Tu, I'm really in trouble because of you. I fell out of love because of you. My ex-boyfriend even said that to me. It's all your fault." Yao Bing burped and said angrily, Okay. It's all my fault. I'll drink more, okay? You must drink more. Then let's drink." "You're wrong. Why do you still want me to drink? You're unreasonable." "Then you can't drink anymore?" "I can't drink." "You're kidding." Yao Bing frowned and drank it all in one go. She even said provocatively, "I can drink." Wang Zhong was stunned. Her alcohol tolerance was really high. But wasn't she afraid of getting drunk? One must know that she had gotten drunk twice before. He had succeeded each time. If it wasn't for the fact that he didn't take advantage of her, her belly would have been as big as a ball. With 2 previous examples, she didn't learn her lesson? But soon Wang Zhong understood why. It was simple. Yao Bing was too sad. When a person was heartbroken, it was easy for them to do things that went against their rationality. At this moment, Yao Bing was probably thinking of getting drunk and indulging herself. Since that was the case, he would accompany her. "Come, let's drink. Let's play dice." Bragging. "Okay." Wang Zhong nodded. Soon, Yao Bing was almost drunk. Even her words were incoherent. As a matter of course, Wang Zhong helped her up the stairs. Chen Jiqiang, I really have to thank you. If it wasn't for your help, I wouldn't be in such a good situation." Wang Zhong was happy and immediately pressed on top of her. In order to be a scumbag in this life, Wang Zhong was going all out. This time, Yao Bing was very obedient. Until the latter half of the night, Yao Bing was so tired that she fell asleep. But what made Wang Zhong speechless was that Yao Bing sneaked out early the next morning. Wang Zhong guessed that Yao Bing had regained her rationality. She realized that it was wrong of her to indulge herself like this. She felt embarrassed, so she left early. Wang Zhong naturally wouldn't say anything about it. But he guessed that it wouldn't be easy to find Yao Bing in the future. After that, Yao Bing rarely contacted him. She only chatted with him when they were talking about stocks. She didn't talk about anything else. This made Wang Zhong think that Yao Bing might have suffered some kind of trauma. Wang Zhong was busy with his business every day. Now that Su Xiaoyan was accompanying him every day, he would play stocks when he was free. A year had passed. He sold all his stocks because the stock market wasn't doing very well recently. Anyway, he had earned almost 100 million this year. There was no need to spend more on it. In fact, Wang Zhong now had a net worth of 200 million. Therefore, he went to Hong Kong in advance to inherit the 10 billion. Chapter 588. When he inherited the 100 million, in fact, Wang Zhong himself did not expect that his goal of earning 100 million would be accomplished so quickly. He calculated that it was mainly from Su Biao that he got a lot of money. After that, Yao Bing made a lot of money for him in the stock market, so that he achieved his goal of 100 million ahead of time. Now the cash on hand was about 180 million. But don't forget, he had 2 villas and a company worth 5 or 6 million. So Wang Zhong was ready to inherit this legacy ahead of time. When he accepted this 100 million, Uncle Li Desheng's lawyer said that as long as he used this 100 million to earn 100 million within 5 years, he could inherit Li Desheng's 10 billion. The meaning of these 5 years, of course, included 1 day, 1 year. As long as he proved that he had 200 million in any day in these 5 years, he could inherit 10 billion. 10 billion. Even in reality, Wang Zhong only had a few billion. After mortgaging the 2 villas for a loan, Wang Zhong went to Hong Kong. As soon as he landed, the lawyer Su Wan, who had already been contacted, greeted him. "Hello, Mr. Li." Su Wan politely reached out and shook hands with Wang Zhong, but in her heart, she muttered. It was only a year since Li Desheng's death, and this guy earned 100 million and came to take this 10 billion inheritance? Su Wan felt that it was not possible, because Li Tu's previous information was very clear. He was just an ordinary delivery boy. What investment channel could he have to quickly earn 100 million? Now it seemed that there was only one possibility. That was to cheat the inheritance. Thinking of this, Su Wan sneered. In fact, there was a law that was not told to Wang Zhong. That was, if he could not earn 100 million and used the loan money to cheat, once it was verified, even the original 100 million would be taken back. This was the price of cheating the inheritance. After a few polite words, Wang Zhong got on Su Wan's car. Su Wan was not a talkative person, but her business ability was indisputable. While driving, she could answer the phone and chat with other clients. Finally, he came to Su Wan's office. Su Wan said straightforwardly, "Mr. Li, you said that you came to take Mr. Li Desheng's legacy. This is not a problem, but you know the prerequisite, right?" "Of course I know. I've already earned 100 million in 5 years." Wang Zhong took out his phone and showed the balance of his account. Su Wan smiled politely and said, "We are not looking at your account balance, but we need you to provide the source of the money to ensure the legitimacy of your source of money." "I see." Wang Zhong nodded and did not find it strange. "That's easy. I'll show you my stock account and the Bijala account that I played with a year ago." "Oh right. I can show you the information of my intermediary company." Wang Zhong did not expect that inheriting this fortune would be so troublesome. However, it did not matter. No matter how troublesome it was, there was a limit. He just needed to complete the requirements. Therefore, Wang Zhong handed over the information one by one. It took him a total of 3 days. "This is the flow of my stock account. I've earned nearly 100 million with the stock of Mingzhou Enterprises. I earned this from playing Beijiale. Of course, this website doesn't seem to be legitimate, but the source of my money is definitely legitimate. This is my company's income." The information was handed over to Su Wan one by one. Su Wan was extremely shocked. You've really earned so much." Su Wan was a person who was very calm when encountering anything. However, no matter how calm he was somewhat inconceivable at the moment. Wang Zhong smiled and said, "I'm just lucky." "Well, your luck is really good." Su Wan muttered in his heart. Not only did he earn so much from playing stocks, but he was about to inherit 10 billion. Originally, he somewhat looked down on Wang Zhong, this nouveau riche. He thought that sooner or later, he would lose everything. But now he did not think so. Instead, he was somewhat envious of Wang Zhong. Just think about it. He worked so hard every day, accompanying those clients to solve all kinds of legal issues. Li Tu did nothing and 10 billion fell from the sky. God, why was the gap between people so big? After Su Wan and his team seriously reviewed it, it was finally confirmed that Wang Zhong really completed the 100 million goal in advance. The company, villa, car under his name were all real. There was no abnormal flow of funds in the account, indicating that he did not borrow a high amount of debt from the black market to pass it off as his own assets. "Mr. Li, your inheritance goal is real. Congratulations on inheriting the inheritance of Mr. Li Desheng. I believe that he will be very pleased to know in the underworld." Su Wan held Wang Zhong's hand tightly and said with emotion. "Next, I will introduce you to Mr. Lee's inheritance. Mr. Lee was a hidden rich man in Hong Kong. The companies under his name were all sold in the early years. After that, he invested in foreign bonds, stocks, and futures markets. That is to say, most of his money was earned by the financial industry. Before he died, he did not sell those stocks, bonds, and futures. If he sold them now, the value of these. Su Wan looked at the information on the computer and finally said with a strange look, more than 1,138,611,000. So much. Wang Zhong felt his heart beating fast. Before, he was still working hard to earn 100 million. Who would have thought that his uncle was the real moneymaker? Yes, it was originally about 10 billion, but the foreign market has been good this year, so the appreciation has been very good. Well, hurry up and go through the handover procedures. These things are all under my name. Wang Zhong couldn't wait. 10 billion, it's really wonderful. Well, we will handle this for you right away. Now Wang Zhong was the top client of his law firm. If these things were handed over to him, he could make a lot of money from it. Naturally, he was more polite to Wang Zhong. With so many assets, the procedures naturally took a lot of time. It took more than a month for the asset handover procedures to be completed. Once again returning to the city where he lived, Su Xiaoyan drove the car to pick him up as soon as he got off the plane. To Su Xiaoyan, Wang Zhong didn't tell the truth that he was going to Hong Kong. He just said that he was going to talk about business. After all, the wealth that he inherited was too much. In this life, Wang Zhong didn't trust anyone but himself. This was not an honest person. The current Su Xiaoyan was a lot more mature and steady. Her dressing had a kind of intellectual beauty. This time, when she came to pick him up, she wore long black stockings and a short skirt that reached her breasts. This wasn't her usual attire. Seeing this, Wang Zhong felt a burst of passion. As soon as he reached home, Wang Zhong carried Su Xiaoyan and drove straight in. Brotherly, you are too bad. You treat me like that as soon as I get home. After finishing, Su Xiaoyan didn't forget to say a few words coquettishly. This was Su Xiaoyan's likability. While satisfying people, she didn't forget to complain and act coquettishly. It was very likable. If you are not dressed like this to seduce me, why are you dressed like this? Wang Zhong smiled and scratched Su Xiaoyan's nose. Annoying, don't say it out loud. But do I really look good dressed like this? Yes, very good. But you can't dress like this in front of others. I don't want you to be seen by others. Of course I am yours, Su Xiaoyan said coquettishly. By the way, this is the gift I bought for you in Hong Kong. Wang Zhong took out a diamond necklace from his suitcase. Su Xiaoyan was so excited that she kissed Wang Zhong a few times. After a few kisses, Wang Zhong asked, by the way, how is the thing that I asked you to do before I left? Before going to Hong Kong, the owner of a 5-star hotel in the city died in an accident. After the owner died, his 3 children were fighting over the family property. Because there was no will, the lawyer finally said that the hotel was sold, and the 3 children would share the property equally. To be honest, this 5-star hotel was very profitable, and the business was very good. No one in their right mind would sell it like this. But now that the 3 children were going to split up, they could only pack it up and sell it. Wang Zhong thought about it. Although inheriting more than 10 billion was a lot, the money would run out. He was still young. If he didn't become a capitalist, how could he be a scumbag? So before leaving, he asked Su Xiaoyan to observe the hotel. There will be an auction in that place the day after tomorrow. So far, I know that several companies, consortiums, and private owners are targeting that hotel. The starting price is 500 million. 500 million. Wang Zhong understood. Let's go the day after tomorrow. Brotherly, isn't it too risky? There are a lot of people interested in this hotel. The price will definitely be high. Wang Zhong smiled and said, I have my eyes on far more than this hotel. Then you. Let's talk about it the day after tomorrow. 2 days later, the hotel's auction began. This hotel was originally a luxury hotel. It had entertainment, restaurants, accommodation, sauna, and everything. Today is the auction of the luxury hotel. This hotel has been built for 10 years. It is the largest 5-star hotel in the city. Countless celebrities have stayed there. The total floor area is 9.5. For such a big project, the auction was very strict. Not only did the auctioneer repeat the information before the auction, but the bidders also had a copy of the information. However, as big bosses, everyone had memorized this information by heart and understood it very well. When the auctioneer was reading, Wang Zhong touched his chin and thought about the hotel's plan. In fact, his goal was not the hotel, but the 50,000 square meters of building area and the beach beside the hotel. At that time, he had thought of a big project. The hotel was close to the beach. He could build a seaside tourist attraction and a theme park there. This hotel, seaside tourist attraction, everything. The value of the hotel would increase in minutes. At present, although there were several places by the beach in the city, they were all small. The most important thing was that there was no theme park. If he could open it up now, it would be wonderful. Of course, this project would definitely cost a lot of money, so he had to take it slow. If he couldn't do it, he could find a partner. Anyway, it was tiring to do it alone. It would be good to have a partner. Chapter 589. The starting price. Just as the auctioneer was about to speak, a manager suddenly came up and whispered a few words to him. What? No more bidding. The manager nodded awkwardly. The auctioneer looked embarrassed and shouted to the crowd. I'm sorry, everyone. I just got the news that the hotel is not bidding. What? Are you kidding us? What about our losses? F***ck, pay up. A group of representatives shouted angrily. The auctioneer hurriedly said, We'll pay you 3 times the deposit. I'm sorry. Wang Zhong frowned and could only leave. However, it was impossible for him to give up so easily. He guessed that there must be something fishy. Maybe the hotel was intercepted in advance. Sure enough, a few days later, the news came that the new owner of the hotel was the Su Group. The Su Group was generous. They gave each of the 3 heirs of the hotel 20% shares, and the remaining 40% belonged to them. In order to buy the 40% shares, the Su Group also paid a lot, almost the same as buying the whole hotel. After that, the Su Group held an opening ceremony and invited many celebrities. Wang Zhong was lucky enough to receive an invitation. He actually didn't know anyone in the Su Group, so he didn't understand why they invited him. Could it be that the Su Group also thought that he was a person with the intention to invest, so they invited him? The opening ceremony of the Su Group was very grand. The location was in this 5-star hotel, and they even invited celebrities to help. Wang Zhong thought that he just happened to know some rich people and wanted to broaden his horizons, so he came. It was only after that he discovered some problems. He met old acquaintances here. His old classmates Mao Jianhua and Chen Jiqiang. After not seeing them for a year, these 2 people seemed to have become a lot more popular. They even stood on the rostrum of the Su Group. It seemed that they were all from the Su Group. Soon he also knew that the Su Group invited them. The Su Group's idea was the same as his. That was to integrate this place into an integrated amusement park, a marine park, and a hotel. It could be imagined that once the project was completed, the value of the hotel would skyrocket. The key was that there were no large-scale entertainment projects in the surrounding area, and the income of the city's residents had been rising. With the spending power, that place would definitely become popular. The Su's Group understood the importance of this project, so they bought the hotel and had the right to develop the surrounding areas of the hotel. The next step was to negotiate with the municipal government. Wang Zhong didn't think that the city government would reject such a big project. First of all, the surrounding area was a wasteland, especially the seaside area. There were no residents at all. Secondly, the development of this area could greatly increase employment and tax revenue. There was also no environmental pressure. Only a fool would reject such a good business project. On the way here, Wang Zhong had learned that the Su Group's main business was also hotels and some real estate projects. According to the financial group's annual report, this company's liquid assets were valued at around 3 billion, excluding fixed assets. With such a small amount of liquid assets, it was naturally impossible to swallow this project in one go. This banquet was actually to invite social financial groups to invest. The person in charge of this project was said to be a woman named Su Wanqi. At this moment, she was giving an opening speech on the rostrum. Then, she began to talk about the project she was going to develop. She also gave this project a very nice name. It was called the Hai Bei Water Park. Looking at Su Wanqi, Wang Zhong suddenly felt that the name was quite familiar, but he couldn't remember it for a while. After that, Wang Zhong learned from several guests who attended the banquet that Su Wanqi was the eldest daughter of the Su group's leader. She was smart and capable. It was precisely because of her that she saw the business opportunity behind this hotel. So, without saying a word, she invited the 3 children of the former owner of the hotel. After several days of discussion, she finally stopped the auction before the hammer fell. The conditions she gave were really good. Think about it. If this Dahai Bay Water Park project went smoothly, the shares in the hands of the 3 children would also rise. As long as one was smart, one would know how to choose. Originally, Wang Zhong also admired this woman, but he soon found that Chen Jiqiang had been following behind Su Wanqi and was busy from time to time. What's going on? Wang Zhong was stunned. Soon, Su Wanqi agreed on the plan for the Dahai Bay Water Park project. For a time, the guests below whispered. They were all smart people. Even though they didn't have this idea at first, after Su Wanqi said it, everyone suddenly realized. Everyone approved this project. It was conceivable that once the project was completed, the appreciation of the hotel alone would make the Su group a lot of money. Therefore, many big bosses and people from consortia began to move, thinking about future investments. Wang Zhong also wanted to contact Su Wanqi, but Chen Jiqiang, who was beside this woman, made him a little speechless. Everyone knew that he and Chen Jiqiang didn't get along. Chen Jiqiang must be full of hatred for him. After all, he was the one who separated him and Yao Bing. Seeing that Su Wanqi trusted Chen Jiqiang, if he went over rashly and Chen Jiqiang said a few words, Su Wanqi might have some prejudice against him. As he was thinking, to Wang Zhong's surprise, Chen Jiqiang came over. Oh, isn't this Mr. Li? It seems that my subordinate really invited you. Chen Jiqiang's tone was mocking. Wang Zhong understood and said, So it was you who invited me over? Ha ha ha, otherwise, do you think you are qualified? Anyway, Chen Jiqiang had already seen through him, so he didn't hold back. The reason he had invited Wang Zhong over was to let him see his own abilities. So what if Li Tu was rich? He was just a small boss of an intermediary company. Chen Jiqiang was now the department manager of the Su group. He was in charge of several people, and was at Su Wanqi's beck and call. Especially when Su Wanqi said that once the project was successful, as long as he did a good job, she would give him shares. At that time, he would be a millionaire. He felt that the current him was sufficient to suppress Wang Zhong. Well, you are very good. But why did you suddenly come here? Didn't a big boss invest in you? Wang Zhong said calmly. He didn't know how to get in touch with Su Wanqi, but he suddenly had an idea. I don't care about that kind of small project anymore. Chen Jiqiang's expression changed slightly. Is that so? Congratulations. Haha, not bad. Li Tu, I heard that you also went to the auction. TSK. It seems that you are still one step behind. Chen Jiqiang smiled proudly and left. Then Chen Jiqiang walked to Mao Jianhua's side. The two of them raised their wine glasses and pointed at Wang Zhong. They didn't hide the ridicule on their faces. To Wang Zhong's surprise, the woman beside Mao Jianhua was not Yi Leiqian, but a woman dressed in skimpy clothes. He immediately realized that something might have happened between Mao Jianhua and Yi Leiqian. If he wanted to know what happened to Mao Jianhua and Chen Jiqiang in the past year, he would have to ask Yi Leiqian. Therefore, Wang Zhong took out his phone and sent a smiley face to Yi Leiqian. In the past year, Yi Leiqian would ask Wang Zhong out from time to time. It seems that even after getting married, Yi Leiqian still couldn't change her mind about doing business. Unfortunately, Wang Zhong was no longer interested in her, so he kept saying that he was busy. Therefore, the two of them didn't contact each other for half a year. After sending the smiley face, Wang Zhong sent 8,800 renminbi as a red envelope. He sent a message. I just came back from abroad. Where are you? Yi Leiqian wasn't very comfortable recently. After marrying Mao Jianhua, she thought that Mao Jianhua and Chen Jiqiang's game project would be successful, and she would be a rich wife. In order to pay the 1 million RMB security deposit, Chen Jiqiang encouraged Mao Jianhua to use their wedding gift money and their wedding house as collateral. Only then did they pay the 1 million RMB security deposit. However, they didn't expect that the so-called real estate boss disappeared. They immediately realized that they were cheated. From the beginning to the end, no one was willing to spend tens of millions to invest in their game. This real estate boss was a liar. What security deposit? His goal was to take the money and leave. Later, Mao Jianhua, Yi Leiqian, and Chen Jiqiang went to the real estate boss company and found out that the company was temporarily rented. The business license and identity card were all fake. They realized that they couldn't get the 1 million RMB. They had no money, and now that their wedding house was mortgaged, they had to return the money. Yi Leiqian complained to Mao Jianhua every day and finally wanted a divorce. Mao Jianhua had no choice but to move out. After that, Yi Leiqian had no choice but to contact her previous customers and start her business again. Half a year later, Mao Jianhua and Chen Jiqiang got lucky and met Su Wanqi. Both of them entered the Su group, and their status rose. Mao Jianhua had some money in his hands. Although he and Yi Leiqian got back together, he soon found a new lover outside and ignored Yi Leiqian. Especially recently, Mao Jianhua didn't go home much. Yi Leiqian knew that Mao Jianhua would divorce her sooner or later. She was very anxious now. Was she going to stay in this business forever? As the saying goes, which woman doesn't want to marry well? Who would be willing to stay in this business forever? Director Li, long time no see. Thank you for the red packet. Wang Zhong stopped the car at the entrance of Yi Leiqian's neighborhood. Once Yi Leiqian got in the car, she held on to Wang Zhong's arm and thanked him. Looking at Yi Leiqian's outfit, Wang Zhong almost had a nosebleed. She was wearing a short sailor skirt, white stockings, and a low-necked shirt that exposed her cleavage. This. Wasn't this too? Luckily, Wang Zhong was well informed and wasn't shocked. What's wrong? Are you alone at home during the day? Did Jianhua go to work? Wang Zhong pinched her there and said playfully. Chapter 590. Io annoying. Being taken advantage of, Yi Leiqian was not angry. Instead, she was very happy. This Li too was a big boss. Of course, she wanted to serve him well. When the time came, he would reward her with tens of thousands of yuan. This was much more generous than accompanying others. Jianhua, that bastard. Now that he has a lover, he has forgotten about me. Yi Leiqian said angrily. My mother wants me to divorce him, but I'm not willing. Oh, why? Wang Zhong thought to himself. As expected, he came to look for Yi Leiqian and found out some important information. Yi Leiqian did not have any feelings for Mao Jianhua. If not for the fact that she wanted to be a rich wife, she would not have gotten married. Therefore, when faced with Wang Zhong's question, she told him everything in detail. So that real estate boss was a liar. Hearing Yi Leiqian's story, Wang Zhong laughed. He knew it. Why would a real estate boss invest in games for no reason? Not to mention this kind of rubbish game. As expected, there was something fishy going on. As Chen Jiqiang's ultimate bootlicker, Mao Jianhua even mortgaged his wedding house to raise money for Chen Jiqiang. Now all the money was wasted. Then what are they doing now? Wang Zhong knew, but he deliberately asked Yi Leiqian to see if she would tell the truth. As the car drove, Yi Leiqian did not have any ulterior motives. In other words, she hated Mao Jianhua from the bottom of her heart. In her opinion, after marrying Mao Jianhua, what she got was not as much as what she got from Wang Zhong. On the other hand, Mao Jianhua did not contribute anything. He even gave away their wedding house. Now that he had made a small fortune, he immediately kicked her away. Anyone would be angry. Therefore, Yi Leiqian answered Wang Zhong's question without hesitation. It turned out that Su Wanqi was Li Tu's senior in school. When Su Wanqi was still in school, she worked with Chen Jiqiang on some student union matters. Therefore, they were quite familiar with each other. After meeting Su Wanqi, Chen Jiqiang recommended himself. In fact, he was just bragging. He said that he was talented but was not recognized. Yi Leiqian did not know the details, but Su Wanqi recruited him into the company. This was also Chen Jiqiang's greatest strength. He couldn't do things well, but his mouth could intimidate people. Now I heard that Chen Jiqiang is already a department manager there, and Mao Jianhua is his secretary. The two of them are doing very well. In about 3 months, they have paid off the money for our wedding house. Yi Leiqian said. Oh, logically speaking, even if he's a department manager, he shouldn't be able to earn money so quickly. Yeah, I found it strange too. I even asked him. Unfortunately, Jianhua is angry with me now and doesn't want to talk to me. Why did you two quarrel? Wang Zheng felt strange. Could it be that Mao Jianhua found out that Yi Leiqian had an affair? However, thinking about it, it didn't seem very likely. It was very simple. When Yi Leiqian did this kind of thing, her protective measures were very good. The location she chose was very hidden, and most people would not know about it. Isn't it because he despises me for scolding him for being useless back then? Moreover, there are people outside now. I'm so angry. Wang Zhong laughed in his heart. This couple was really weird. Both of them were going out to play. Yi Leiqian, since you are going to divorce, can you do me a favor? Wang Zhong asked. What's the matter? Help me find out some things. That's right. This time, he looked for Yi Leiqian, of course, not to reminisce about the old days, but to ask Yi Leiqian to be an insider and understand the specific matters of the Su group. In order to let Yi Leiqian do things, Wang Zhong promised a sum of money. In the evening, Yi Leiqian contacted Mao Jianhua. Hubby, I cooked a table of good dishes today. Can you come back? Really? Mao Jianhua had already returned to his office. After listening to Yi Leiqian's phone call, he suddenly felt a little unbelievable, because Yi Leiqian ignored him in the past, causing him to have a home where he couldn't go back. Now that he was making money, Yi Leiqian's attitude towards him was slightly better, but it wasn't so good. What was going on? Yes, hubby, I found a fortune teller today. It's very suitable for us to have a child recently. And Mao Jianhua was stunned. Yi Leiqian actually said that. A while ago, they were arguing about divorce. Because of this, he even found a lover. Of course, this lover was found in a KTV. It was just for fun, and it was impossible for them to get married. In his opinion, if he wanted to get married, he had to find a girl like Yi Leiqian, who was simple and pure. Unfortunately, Yi Leiqian's temper was too bad, which made him very speechless. Now that Yi Leiqian's attitude seemed to have softened, he thought about it and agreed. Well, I'll come back tonight. And hubby, I'll wait for you. Cute. It had to be said that it was very easy for Yi Leiqian to seduce a person if she wanted to. Mao Jianhua heard a burst of excitement in his heart. Although the two of them had been husband and wife for a long time, Mao Jianhua also missed Yi Leiqian's unique skills after not being together for so long. After all, there were many beautiful women, but Yi Leiqian belonged to the technical type. She was the kind that could fly away. Even the experienced and knowledgeable Wang Zhong was defeated, not to mention Mao Jianhua. At night, when he returned home, Yi Leiqian cooked a table of good dishes and accompanied Mao Jianhua to drink a few glasses of wine. Hubby, I'm sorry for the past. I was unreasonable. I know I was wrong. I've thought it through now. I've been married for so long. It's almost time for me to have a child. What do you think? Yi Leiqian looked at Mao Jianhua and said. And okay. But honey, my career is still rising. I want to wait for us to save more money. Mao Jianhua said with a smile. In fact, he also had some thoughts in his heart. Yi Leiqian's temper used to be so bad. Who knew if it would change in the future? Now that he had such a good job, he would have a lot of money soon. What was Yi Leiqian to him? No matter how good her skills were, it was useless if they couldn't get along. So, he didn't want to have a child for the time being. Well, I'll listen to you. That night, the two of them naturally got together. After that, Yi Leiqian began to ask Mao Jianhua about his work. Mao Jianhua had a bad habit. He liked to show off. He was like this in front of Wang Zhong. So when faced with Yi Leiqian's questions, he also showed off. General Manager Su Wanqi valued him very much. Even the Dahai Bay Water Park project would be handed over to him when the time came. Now, he and Chen Jiqiang were the talents that Su Wanqi valued the most. That's great. I said that you would definitely do great things. Yi Leiqian flattered. This flattery made Mao Jianhua very happy. He felt that his whole person was much more refreshed. Unfortunately, the more Yi Leiqian flattered, the more Mao Jianhua looked down on Yi Leiqian. He secretly thought, now you know how great I am. At that time, you still wanted a divorce. Now you know who is the real head of the family, right? However, your position is so high now. Why is your salary so ordinary? Yi Leiqian asked deliberately. My salary is ordinary. I have more than 10,000 a month. Mao Jianhua said. That's not much. And I don't understand. Your salary is so low. How did you pay off the debt of our house? You didn't borrow it, right? How is that possible? Mao Jianhua sneered. Did Chen Jiqiang pay it for you? That's not right. You said last time that his salary was only a few thousand yuan more than yours. Mao Jianhua was speechless. Why are you asking this? I'm curious. I also want to think about our future. Why? Don't you want to tell me? No, it's just that these things are hard to say. Why is it hard to say? Yi Leiqian's eyes turned. In the afternoon, Wang Zhong asked her to ask this, because Wang Zhong was also very curious about where their money came from. Wang Zhong promised that as long as she asked, he would give her 200,000 yuan. This money was a lot for Yi Leiqian. Anyway, Mao Jianhua had not subsidized her household expenses much until now. She had long stopped treating Mao Jianhua as her husband. That's right. Hubby, say it, say it. The more you don't say it, the more itchy it makes me. Yi Leiqian used the method of acting coquettishly. Her beautiful figure provoked Mao Jianhua. Okay, I'll say it. But you can't tell others. Of course. In this matter, Chen Jiqiang is still the best. Aren't we responsible for several projects? Secretly reduce a little, and take a little from the outside. Won't the money come in? After Mao Jianhua finished speaking, he said proudly, this is the way to make money. As long as we continue to do it in the future, won't tens of millions be easy? Wow, hubby, you're really amazing. Ha ha ha, of course. But of course, this kind of thing can't be said casually, understand? Mao Jianhua's words also had the intention of showing off. He just wanted to let his wife know his power and be obedient to him. Unfortunately, what he didn't know was that even if he had money, he had never given Yi Leiqian much. This made Yi Leiqian unable to understand the feeling of being rich at all. And in Yi Leiqian's view, Mao Jianhua's money came from an illegal source. It was better for her to go out and do some business to earn some money. After all, if the other side investigated, it was very likely that this would be confiscated. At that time, she would not get anything. So she had already thought about how to bargain with Wang Zhong. The next day, as soon as Mao Jianhua left, Wang Zhong entered the house. How was the chat? Entering the house, Wang Zhong sat on the sofa. Yi Leiqian also took the initiative and directly sat on Wang Zhong's lap. Yes, I have big news. Yi Leiqian said sweetly. Oh, tell me about it. I spent a lot of effort to find out. Don't worry, as long as your news is useful, money is not a problem. You want to harm Mao Jianhua? Not really. To be honest, I want to discuss a big business with his boss, Su Wanqi. So I need to understand some of the situation there. Do you understand? I understand. Your idea is to get rid of Mao Jianhua and Chen Jiqiang. If they don't leave, I'm afraid you can't get close to Su Wanqi. Wang Zhong was speechless. This girl actually understood. Don't you care about your husband? Wang Zhong originally wanted to hide this point, but he didn't expect Yi Leiqian to not care at all. I don't want to talk to him anymore. I can see that once he has money, he will definitely dump me. Yi Leiqian said quietly. Knock, knock, knock. Leiqian, I forgot to take my briefcase. Open the door. Chapter 591. Leiqian, I forgot to take my briefcase. Open the door. Just as Wang Zhong and Yi Leiqian were chatting together, Mao Jianhua's voice was suddenly heard. Oh no, why is he back? Yi Leiqian quickly got up. Quickly hide in the closet. Wang Zhong was speechless. He didn't expect to encounter such a thing. Kacha. Mao Jianhua walked in, and looked at Yi Leiqian suspiciously. Why did you only open the door now? I was just about to put on my clothes. I was halfway through when you came. Yi Leiqian rolled her eyes at Mao Jianhua and handed over the briefcase. Look at you forgetful. Hee wife, you look so good in pajamas. Mao Jianhua laughed. You're so annoying. Quickly go to work. Okay. Mao Jianhua didn't notice that there was an extra person in the house. When he walked outside, he suddenly turned his head. By the way, what kind of car do you like? You want to buy a car? Of course, Jiqiang just called me. Su Wanqi successfully borrowed a large sum of money from the bank. This money has a lot of benefits for us. When the time comes, we'll buy a new car. Oh, that's great. Yi Leiqian smiled awkwardly. After all, Wang Zhong was still hiding in the house. If Mao Jianhua came a few steps later, she and Wang Zhong might have had sex. She secretly rejoiced in her heart. Haha, of course that's great. But you can't say these things. Well then buy me a car when the time comes. Yi Leiqian asked. You don't usually go out. Why buy a car? It's enough for me to drive. I'll go first. After closing the door, Yi Leiqian pouted. So what if Mao Jianhua was rich? He still couldn't bear to spend money on her. That was why men were really different before and after marriage. Before marriage, Mao Jianhua doted on her and couldn't wait to find her every day. Even if he didn't have money, Mao Jianhua would spend his pocket money on Yi Leiqian. After marriage, it was completely the opposite. This made Yi Leiqian feel very different. She also saw Mao Jianhua for who he was. Wang Zhong came out of the cupboard. Even though he was brave, he was still drenched in cold sweat from what had just happened. The feeling of sneaking around was really not a good feeling. But thinking that she had made Mao Jianhua a cuckold, she felt happy. Wang Zhong had heard everything that had just been said. He wondered why Su Wanqi could spend so much money to buy 40% of the hotel's shares and develop the plan for the Dahai Bay Water Park. According to his investigation, although the Su Group was huge, it did not have much cash flow. It was only a few billion. Although there were a lot of fixed assets, they were all real estate and wouldn't be of much use. They would only make the stock price of the Su family group look better. In addition, the Su family group was very large and had many projects to develop. There was not much spare money. Since Su Wanqi had taken out so much money at once, she would definitely need a loan. Listening to Mao Jianhua's words, it was obvious that he and Chen Jiqiang had reaped a lot of benefits from the loan. It was no wonder that the two of them were walking with a swagger. At this time, Wang Zhong suddenly laughed. If Su Wanqi's capital chain suddenly broke and the bank withdrew the loan, what would happen? She would probably go crazy, right? President Li, you heard everything just now. I'm afraid that Chen Jiqiang and Mao Jianhua have no good intentions around Su Wanqi, said Yi Leiqian. Well, isn't that so? You did a good job. If Mao Jianhua doesn't buy a car for you, I will buy one for you, said Wang Zhong indifferently. President Li, you are such a good person. I hate you. After leaving Mao Jianhua's house, Wang Zhong began to investigate Su Wanqi. First, he contacted a business investigation company. There were actually many business investigation companies in society. They had the means to find some information that was not particularly important. After paying some money, Wang Zhong learned about Su Wanqi's family structure. She was the eldest sister of the Su family. She had two younger brothers. However, according to the information, Su Wanqi was not very valued in the family. Because she was a woman, she would get married sooner or later. Her two younger brothers did not want her to be in power. They were worried that she would get married and divide the family property. Another reason was that Su Wanqi and her two younger brothers had the same father, but different mothers. Her father was old and did not have long to live. Of course, the two brothers wanted to take control of the Su family. It would be best if they kicked Su Wanqi out. Therefore, most of Su Wanqi's current project funds were borrowed from the bank. The remaining part was that Su Wanqi hoped to find investors to cooperate with. A few days ago, the opening reception was held. As Su Wanqi expected, there were many people who wanted to cooperate with her. President Su, President Liu of Deming Enterprise has an appointment with you to discuss cooperation. He is already waiting for you in the conference room. Got it. In the office, Su Wanqi rubbed her forehead. Recently, she had met many investors, which made her a little tired. However, the situation was also good. Many investors were ready to invest. The bank was also very successful. They had borrowed a total of 3 billion yuan. With this money, she could start the early development. Thinking of this, Su Wanqi clenched her fists tightly. She leaned on the boss's chair and looked out the window. She thought of her 2 younger half-brothers at home. These 2 people now saw her as a thorn in their side and tried their best to kick her out of the family. Because of this, she could not use the company's funds at all. Fortunately, she had connections and good projects. She believed that she could make a comeback. Wanqi, I saw a good coffee shop on the way back from the bank. I know you like to drink, so I bought some for you. At this time, Chen Jiqiang walked in with the coffee. Didn't I tell you before? Even if you are my good friend, you can't call my name in the company. Although Su Wanqi said this, she did not look angry. Chen Jiqiang smiled and said, "Look at me. I actually forgot." Then, Chen Jiqiang put the coffee on the table and said, "What's wrong? You don't look too good." Sigh. Although a few investors have contacted me these few days, they all want a lot of shares. So troublesome. Well, I'm afraid they all know about my family's situation. They know that I don't have much money on hand, so they are like this. Su Wanqi said helplessly. Don't think so much. Just now Tyrone Bank contacted me. There's another sum of money coming. 1 billion. As long as we set up the ocean park first, there will definitely be businesses in that area. We can also recover part of the money, Chen Jiqiang said heroically. Well, thanks to you. If it weren't for you, I'm afraid it would be more difficult for me, Su Wanqi said gratefully. A few months ago, because she was ostracized by her 2 younger brothers, she was actually a figurehead in the company. She had no right to speak at all. After that, she gave up on herself and often drank. At that time, her former university held an alumni meeting. She thought that she had nothing to do, so she went. It was at that time that she met Chen Jiqiang. In fact, they had known each other before, but they were not familiar with each other. Chen Jiqiang knew about her and told her about his situation. He said that he had developed a very fun game. Originally, he had tens of millions of financing in his hands. However, at the last moment, the boss actually took away his development results. It was all his fault for trusting others too much. However, he said that even if he suffered such a blow, he would not be discouraged. He believed that with his talent, he would definitely succeed. It had to be said that Chen Jiqiang was very good at bluffing. Under his chicken soup infusion, Su Wanqi pulled herself together. She also invited Chen Jiqiang to the company. Chen Jiqiang really gave her a lot of ideas. No money. That's fine. First, draw a big pie, and then go to the bank to get a loan. No one invested? That's fine. Draw a bigger pie, and then ask for investment. Needless to say, this trick of his was very useful in the capital market. Especially after that cocktail party. It was Chen Jiqiang's masterpiece that attracted a lot of loans and investments. This made Su Wanqi feel that Chen Jiqiang was really smart. Now what she lacked was funds. Chen Jiqiang helped her solve this problem very well. Because of this, Su Wanqi trusted him more. President Su, you're treating me like an outsider. No matter what, we're together. Helping you is my responsibility, and more importantly, I admire you. Su Wanqi blushed. During this time, Chen Jiqiang had already pursued her several times. How could she not know? Unfortunately, at present, she only wanted to solve the company's problems. She could only play dumb with Chen Jiqiang's pursuit. Chen Jiqiang, since the money from the bank has come down, let me see it when you have time. I need to do the accounts. I've already taken care of this for you. Don't worry, it's just a small matter. You've already done it. Su Wanqi did not expect Chen Jiqiang to be so efficient. Yes, of course. Okay, but I still want to take a look when I have time. Okay then. After Chen Jiqiang walked out, he was actually a little nervous. Su Wanqi suddenly wanted to check the accounts. If she investigated carefully, his corruption would definitely be exposed. Originally, his idea was to pursue Su Wanqi. Then as a couple, Su Wanqi would definitely be at ease with him. However, He did not expect things to turn out like this. Just as he was thinking about what to do next, a phone call came in. Is this Mr. Chen Jiqiang? I am. What can I do for you? My name is Runway. If you have time, I'd like to invite Mr. Chen Jiqiang for a drink. Chen Jiqiang thought that Runway was here to talk about investment, so he agreed. However, after meeting and chatting for a while, Runway said directly, I know that you took a lot of money from the company. What do you mean? Chen Jiqiang's eyes narrowed. Currently, he was the most popular person around Su Wanqi. Many things were left to him. No one knew that he stole Su Wanqi's money. How was that possible? The meaning is very simple. I'm here to look for Mr. Chen, not to do anything to you but to cooperate. As he spoke, Runway pushed a suitcase over. There's 1 million in here. It's the deposit. 1 million. Chen Jiqiang's eyes widened. He had worked so hard for so long, and only got a few million. Now he was directly given so much money. Chapter 592. This much money is for me. Chen Jiqiang began to guess who the other party was, and what their motive was. This was 1 million yuan. He didn't seem to have the ability to get someone to fork out so much money for him. That wasn't right. He was a talent. Perhaps they were interested in his talent? Of course this money is for you. My boss said that he'd like to work with you. What do you want me to do? Chen Jiqiang was someone who had gone to university. He had to ask clearly. It's simple. We want Su Wanqi to fail. Let her fail. Chen Jiqiang immediately thought of Su Wanqi's 2 younger brothers. The head of the Su family was now seriously ill in bed. The quarrel between the 3 siblings over the family property was no longer news. Everyone in the company knew about it, and many of the higher-ups had already taken sides. Unfortunately, most of them naturally supported Su Wanqi's 2 younger brothers. The reason was simple. There were 2 of them, and their mother was still alive. According to the law, their mother was the first heir. Who else would they support if not them? It was just that Su Wanqi was capable. That was why she could deal with her 2 younger brothers. My boss said that Su Wanqi can't have the cash flow of the Su family organization. You can only find investors and loans. You're now the person she trusts the most. I think you should know what to do. That's impossible. Chen Jiqiang frowned. Although the other party had given him a lot of money, his goal was to get the shares later on and become a shareholder to earn more money. Su Wanqi was his springboard. Moreover, he was still fantasizing about getting her. Hee, Mr. Chen, you can refuse. But you've already embezzled a lot of money. If this gets out, do you think Miss Su will still trust you? In other words, you don't have a second choice now. Either you accept this 1 million yuan, or we'll report you to the police, and you'll go to jail. Chen Jiqiang's heart skipped a beat. He panicked. On the surface, the other party was negotiating. In fact, there was no room for negotiation. Then, how do I make Su Wanqi fail? She wants a loan, right? You continue to get the loan. To be honest, my 2 bosses have already talked to the 2 banks. When the time comes, the 2 banks will withdraw the loan, because Su Wanqi's accounts are unclear. Su Wanqi's capital chain will definitely be broken. As long as the capital chain is broken, those investors will not dare to invest. Su Wanqi's early investment will go down the drain. At that time, my 2 bosses will forcefully intervene in this matter and force Su Wanqi to step down. Chen Jiqiang thought to himself, sure enough. Although she was very happy when she got the loan from the bank, she was most afraid that the capital chain would be broken. So Su Wanqi had been desperately looking for investments these days. As long as they found a huge investment, the bank loans could be paid off immediately, thus maintaining a normal cash flow. However, it was too late. Su Wanqi's 2 younger brothers were preparing to take action in advance. Su Wanqi was in trouble. To be honest, Chen Jiqiang wanted to stand on Su Wanqi's side, because Su Wanqi had promised him that once the project was successful, he would get 2% of the shares. What did 2% mean? If it was worth 100 million, that would be 2 million. And this project was far from just 100 million yuan. Billions was already considered too little. Therefore, it was very likely that he would be a multi-millionaire by then. The key was that he could profit from this big project. But now, Su Wanqi's two younger brothers obviously wouldn't let them have an easy time. Mr. Chen, what do you think? Renwei took out his phone and dialed 110. If you agree, this 1 million is yours. If you don't, I'll call 110 and report you for corruption. Don't call. Chen Jiqiang swallowed a mouthful of saliva and stammered. I agree, but after Su Wanqi abdicates, where will I go? Of course, you'll still be in your current position. You've done a good job. My boss admires you. Renwei smiled disdainfully in his heart. Although he said so, when Chen Jiqiang lost his value, who would care about him? Moreover, a minister couldn't serve two masters. Chen Jiqiang could betray Su Wanqi. And more importantly, he was corrupt. His two bosses would be stupid to let Chen Jiqiang work for them. But Chen Jiqiang didn't know that. In fact, he had only started working this year for half a year. He was still fantasizing that he was a talented person. Therefore, he felt that with his ability, the other party would definitely put him in an important position. Okay, I agree. Although he had a good impression of Su Wanqi, compared to his future, Su Wanqi was a fart. No, she wasn't even a fart. After all, a fart could still be heard. Ha ha ha. Mr. Chen is indeed a smart person. I'll leave the rest to you. Thank you, Mr. Ren. I'll do my best. Wang Zhong had been thinking of a way for the past 2 days. And that was how to get the bank to withdraw the loan and cut off Su Wanqi's capital chain. As long as Su Wanqi's capital chain was cut off, her two younger brothers would definitely seize the opportunity to seize power. At that time, he would be able to find Su Wanqi and have a good talk with her. Unfortunately, although he had a good idea, he didn't have many connections even though he was rich. Therefore, he thought of Su Wanqi's two younger brothers. Since they were fighting for power, he would tell Su Wanqi's younger brothers about her situation and let them think of a way to cut off Su Wanqi's capital chain. This was a good idea, and Wang Zhong started to prepare. On this day, when he was thinking of how to contact Su Wanqi's two younger brothers, Yao Bing called. Speaking of which, he hadn't contacted Yao Bing for a long time. The main reason was that Yao Bing was too arrogant. Every time he spoke to her, Yao Bing would act like she was a goddess, and he had to give in to her. This made Wang Zhong angry and amused. Bing Bing, why are you calling me? Wang Zhong asked. Don't call me by my nickname. We're not that close. Okay. De Bing, why are you calling me? You. Yao Bing realized that she couldn't win against Wang Zhong. She snorted and said, I'm not going to argue with you. My mom said that she wants to move to a bigger place. Do you have a suitable place? Wang Zhong laughed in his heart. Yao Bing's attitude towards him wasn't very good, but she still needed his help at the critical moment. Of course, I have a good place. But why would she want to move for no reason? It's very simple. I'm preparing for a blind date. A blind date? Wang Zhong turned pale with fright. Yao Bing was very satisfied with Wang Zhong's tone. She continued. My mom said that the house I'm living in now isn't good. When the time comes, I'll show the man's family the condition isn't good. So, she wants me to live in a better place. I see. What do you think? Yao Bing snorted. She called Wang Zhong's phone. On one hand, she did want to see the house. On the other hand, she wanted to see what Wang Zhong's attitude was. After all, they had already done it, but Wang Zhong didn't say anything. This made Yao Bing very uncomfortable, so she called to test him. If Wang Zhong really didn't care about her, then she would give up. The house is simple. I'll buy one for you. As for the blind date, forget it. If I know you're rich, I don't want it. As for my blind date, what can you do? Of course I can. If you dare to get married, I'll tell everyone about you and XXX. You. How can you be like this? Yao Bing was shocked. She didn't expect Wang Zhong to be so shameless. She was a goddess. When other men saw her, which one of them didn't kneel down and lick her feet? This Wang Zhong, on the other hand, actually dared to say such dirty words. You're shameless. Ha, thanks for the compliment. Wang Zhong smiled faintly and said, Okay, enough nonsense. Didn't you want to see the house? Come to me later to pick one. Pa. The phone was hung up. Although Yao Bing didn't say that she would come, Wang Zhong knew that she would come because he knew her character. Sure enough, an hour later, Yao Bing came wearing a black dress, a sun hat, and fashionable black sunglasses. "Oh, you're so well dressed." Wang Zhong smacked his lips. They hadn't seen each other for a few months. Yao Bing had become more charming, and this was all thanks to his development. "You're dressed so well. Don't tell me you're here to see me?" Wang Zhong said with a smile. Hee, you're thinking too much." Yao Bing, who was guessed correctly by Wang Zhong, naturally wouldn't admit it. She snorted and said, "What are you waiting for? Hurry up and show me the house." Okay. I'm obviously the boss here. Why do I seem to be your assistant?" Wang Zhong was speechless as he turned on the computer. Yao Bing curled her lips. She was amused by her own arrogant and overbearing behavior. Especially when she saw Wang Zhong's deflated look, she felt even more proud. Even she didn't realize that she didn't hate Wang Zhong anymore. Instead, she was quite happy to see Wang Zhong like this. "Here, you come and see." Wang Zhong pointed at the computer. When Yao Bing came over to look, he hugged Yao Bing. "Aya, what are you doing?" Yao Bing was shocked. "I'm not doing anything. Don't you think it's more convenient to look like this?" Wang Zhong smiled and said, "It's not convenient at all. There's no stool here. You can only sit on me. I'm thinking for you. How can you think of such a lame reason?" Yao Bing was so angry that she was speechless. Okay. Stop fooling around. Look at the houses in peace. Which one do you want?" Wang Zhong said seriously. However, he didn't let go of his hands at all. Yao Bing fidgeted a few times. She seemed to have acknowledged Wang Zhong's little action. She could only look quietly. "Look, there are houses in every neighborhood on the computer. Villas in here. This neighborhood is not bad. It's newly developed." Wang Zhong slapped his thigh and laughed. Yao Bing snorted and looked obediently. "I think these houses are not bad. You have to help me look for them. Give me a discount. Also, don't take my commission." After 10 minutes, Yao Bing finally looked at the houses. Wang Zhong was amused. "Silly woman, do you still need to take my commission? Just help me eat some soy milk, and I'll give it to you." Yao Bing was so angry that she scolded. "You want to die." In the afternoon, Wang Zhong brought Yao Bing to look at the houses. For the sake of convenience, Wang Zhong chose to live in the small district opposite his villa district. "Look, this place is not bad, right?" Wang Zhong said. "Yes, it's not bad. My future husband will definitely like it." Yao Bing nodded and said. Chapter 593. Your husband? Wang Zhong narrowed his eyes. "Are you kidding me? Did you ask me to come over and pick a house for you?" "So what? I said I want to go on a blind date," Yao Bing said proudly. Hee, you can try. What do you want?" Yao Bing snorted. Looking at Wang Zhong, who was getting closer and closer, Yao Bing suddenly panicked. However, to Wang Zhong, it seemed like she was doing it on purpose. Was she playing hard to get? This Yao Bing seems to be getting more and more playful. "What do I want? You've already come with me. What do you think?" Yao Bing retreated in fear. In a moment of carelessness, her foot tripped and she fell backwards. Ouch! With this fall, she was almost naked. Was she doing it on purpose? Wang Zhong only felt that Yao Bing was too playful. If he did not fall for it, it would be a waste of her acting skills. As a result, Wang Zhong naturally went up to the stage. An hour later, Wang Zhong pointed to the house and said, "Well, it's confirmed then. Bring your documents and prepare to accept this place in the next few days." "You really don't want me to pay?" Yao Bing said fiercely as she put on her clothes. "Nonsense. As long as you come with me often, this house will be a piece of cake. I'm telling you, this is the last time. Don't even think about touching me in the future. Otherwise, I'll call the police." Okay. This is the last time. I know. Wang Zhong was amused. At this moment, a phone call came in. He looked at it and saw that it was Su Xiaoyan. "Brotherly, have you seen the news? Big news. Su Wanqi's capital chain is broken. Several banks suddenly started to pull out loans. Now, Su Wanqi's investment is going to go down the drain. Because they were targeting the Dahai Bay Water Park project." Wang Zhong asked Su Xiaoyan to keep an eye on the news. When he got the news, Wang Zhong was stunned. She was too lucky. Originally, He was thinking of how to get close to Su Wanqi's two brothers to destroy her. Why did this happen all of a sudden? Wang Zhong asked. I heard some investigations. It seems like two banks suddenly wanted to withdraw their loans. And in the end, it caused a chain reaction. I think it's her two younger brothers who wanted to mess with Su Wanqi. Ha ha ha, I know. Oh right, there's one more thing. Su Wanqi seems to have a problem with Chen Jiqiang. Chen Jiqiang was dismissed, but he actually went to her two younger brothers. Oh? Looks like Chen Jiqiang is up to something. Wang Zhong didn't know the inside story, but he knew about Chen Jiqiang's corruption. Therefore, he guessed that Su Wanqi might have found out about Chen Jiqiang's corruption. But the problem was, if Su Wanqi knew, would she call the police? In short, Chen Jiqiang was definitely going to be unlucky. However, it seemed that Chen Jiqiang was fine at the moment. Instead, he had gone over to his two younger brothers. After hanging up the phone, Yao Bing curiously asked, "What made you so happy?" "Bing Bing, I'm preparing for a big project. Are you willing to help me?" "I don't want to. I have to go to work." "If you keep saying that you don't want it, then I'll make you not want it, okay?" No. At night, Su Wanqi sat alone in the car for a long time. The company's funds suddenly had a problem. Two banks suddenly withdrew their loans. This made Su Wanqi confused, because she didn't remember getting any loans from those two banks. She actually took a loan based on the situation. She wouldn't take a loan from someone she wasn't familiar with. She immediately asked her secretary, and found out that it was Chen Jiqiang who did it. Then, she asked Chen Jiqiang, and Chen Jiqiang said that he took a loan to get more funds. This made Su Wanqi furious, because the two banks suddenly withdrew their loans, which caused a huge chain reaction. Chen Jiqiang made such a big mess. Of course, she immediately fired Chen Jiqiang, and prepared to deal with it herself. But she didn't expect Chen Jiqiang to go to her two younger brothers. She wasn't stupid. She immediately knew why. Chen Jiqiang betrayed her. Why did it turn out like this?" Su Wanqi cried. Ring ring ring. Su Wanqi looked at the phone. It was Chen Jiqiang. "Wanqi, I went to your brother's place," said Chen Jiqiang. "You still have the face to call me." Su Wanqi couldn't believe it. "I trusted you so much and helped you pay off so many debts. You actually betrayed me." "Wanqi, I have my own difficulties," Chen Jiqiang explained helplessly. "I did it for you." Of course, he wouldn't say that they had something on him. So he found a very dignified excuse. "Wanqi, I did find those two banks, but I didn't expect them to know your two younger brothers. But it's okay. I got into their internal department." After saying that, Chen Jiqiang couldn't help but praise himself. This excuse was perfect. "What do you mean?" "Wanqi, although we failed in this project, it's okay. With our talent and ability, we can always make a comeback. When the time comes, I will destroy them." "You're too naive." Su Wanqi looked disappointed. She knew her two younger brothers too well. These two people were smart. How could they trust someone who betrayed her? "Wanqi, what I said is true. Think about it. I can get some money from his company. When the time comes, we can make a comeback. Get some money." Su Wanqi couldn't believe that Chen Jiqiang could say such words. "I know it doesn't sound good, but it's true. How about this? Where are you? I'll come and find you." Chen Jiqiang was worried that he couldn't explain it clearly in a few sentences. So he wanted to find Su Wanqi. For Chen Jiqiang, Su Wanqi was still very useful. First, Su Wanqi was very beautiful. She was simply a goddess like Yao Bing. She was also a big CEO. Conquering her felt a special sense of accomplishment. Second, Su Wanqi hadn't found out that he was getting money from Su Wanqi. However, as Su Wanqi continued to investigate, she would find out sooner or later. By then it would be troublesome. So it was best for him to let Su Wanqi go bankrupt earlier. By then, no one would be able to investigate the debt. Third, Su Wanqi was a member of the Su family after all. Now that the Su family's old master was still alive, Su Wanqi was still considered a member of the Su family. Moreover, even if he was dead, the Su family's old master would definitely give a part of the property to Su Wanqi. That was enough. As for what he said about infiltrating the enemy, that was just talk. It didn't matter who she worked for, as long as she was paid. Unfortunately, although Chen Jiqiang's idea was good, Su Wanqi didn't think so. She said disappointedly, "Forget it. I have nothing to talk to you about. I'll take care of this myself." "Wanqi, you're right to listen to me. When the time comes, I can easily get tens of millions of yuan from here. We can live very well. I've never seen such a spineless person like you." Su Wanqi cursed angrily and decisively hung up the phone. Su Wanqi cried for a while and suddenly felt that she couldn't go on like this. She hadn't completely lost yet. As long as she could find investors, she could win. Thinking of this, she wiped away her tears. "Hello, President Liu. Oh, President Su. Are you free? I have something to talk to you about." "I'm not free. I've been traveling recently." "Hello, President Qi. Are you free? I'll treat you to a meal." "I'm not free. I've been busy recently." "Hello." She called a few people, but they were all busy. This made Su Wanqi angry and anxious. In the past, these people would pester her to invest, but now they were all avoiding her. Even a few of her pursuers were ignoring her now. This made her see the true colors of these people. Sure enough, men are no good. Su Wanqi had no choice but to find the people who attended the cocktail party and call them one by one, hoping to find investors. Wang Zhong was in no hurry at this time. Su Wanqi was a capable woman. Although she had a big fall, with such a capable woman's character, she would definitely not give up so easily. Wang Zhong guessed that Su Wanqi's first step would be to contact the various investors. But who would invest in her at this time? One had to know that she was now short of at least 3 billion yuan. Which big company could come up with so much at once? He was waiting for her to contact him now. If he took the initiative to call Su Wanqi, it would feel like he was begging her to invest. If he waited for her to contact him, it would be much easier. Therefore, Wang Zhong was prepared to wait until tomorrow. If Su Wanqi still did not contact him, then he would take the initiative to call her. To Wang Zhong's surprise, Su Wanqi called not long after. "Hello, is this President Li?" Su Wanqi's voice was a little hoarse. Obviously, she was not in a good state. "Yes, you are. I'm Su Wanqi from the Su Group." Oh, Wang Zhong smiled meaningfully. "I wonder why President Su is looking for me. It's like this. I saw President Li at the cocktail party last time, but I didn't have time to chat with you. Now, I want to meet you. I wonder if you have time." This woman was quite good at talking. She obviously wanted to get investors, but she said it as if she was very familiar with him. Wang Zhong's heart was like a mirror. He understood Su Wanqi's thoughts very well. "Is that so? Okay, where do you want to talk?" Originally, Su Wanqi did not have much hope for Wang Zhong. Because almost all her previous calls were rejected, she was already waiting for Wang Zhong to take the initiative to hang up the phone. However, he never expected that Wang Zhong would actually agree. Su Wanqi was ecstatic and quickly said, "If President Li doesn't mind, I know a restaurant. The environment there." Before she finished speaking, Wang Zhong interrupted Su Wanqi. "I've eaten. I want to drink some tea now. How about this? I'm now at a tea room. You can come over." Coming to the agreed-upon location would allow him to take the initiative and have a better position in the negotiation. Su Wanqi did not think much and agreed. Soon, Su Wanqi arrived at the tea room that Wang Zhong mentioned. This kind of place was generally a place for friends to gather. The environment was good, and the most important thing was that privacy was good. Other than the waiter, no one else knew about the people and things in the room. Chapter 594. Although Su Wanqi had met Wang Zhong before, she had no impression of him. After meeting Wang Zhong, Su Wanqi was surprised to find that Wang Zhong was so young. "Nice to meet you, Mr. Li." Su Wanqi walked in generously. It could be seen that she had put on makeup when she came, and was dressed up nicely. "Nice to meet you, Mr. Su." Wang Zhong nodded. After sitting down, Wang Zhong poured some tea for Su Wanqi. Su Wanqi started chatting. She was smart enough not to go straight to the point. Instead, she talked about Wang Zhong's clothes and said that he had good taste. Indirectly, she was flattering him. After that, she asked about Wang Zhong's work. After chatting for more than 20 minutes, Su Wanqi still did not get to the point. Finally, After more than 10 minutes, Su Wanqi said, Mr. Li, what do you think of my company's Ocean Park project? This project is very good. But I heard that you have a capital chain crisis. The bank has withdrawn its investment. I'm worried about whether the funds can be sustained, Wang Zhong said lightly. Su Wanqi said confidently, Don't worry about that. Although there is a cash flow crisis, it is only temporary. I have already contacted several investors, and they have a strong desire to invest. I believe that once we pass this hurdle, the bank will renew the loan. Ha ha ha, is that so? Unfortunately, the information I have is not like that. Su Wanqi frowned. Mr. Li, so you have no intention to invest? She was very curious. If he had no intention to invest, why did he agree to meet her? Was there something wrong with this guy? You are wrong. I have an intention to invest, but my intention is relatively large. According to my understanding, you have 100% shares in the Dahai Bay Water Park. I want you to give me 51% of the shares. That's impossible. Su Wanqi frowned. If she gave him so many shares, it meant that she would lose control of the company. She would not be in charge of the company in the future. After all, this project was her biggest reliance. She even wanted to use the funds earned from this project to take back the shares of the Su Group step by step. But if she gave all the shares to Wang Zhong, how could she carry out her plan? Can't I? That won't be easy to talk about. Director Li, although this project still lacks funds, 51% of the shares is not something that you can swallow all at once. Ha ha ha. You think you can't eat it? Not to mention 51%. Even if it's 100%, I can do it. Wang Zhong shook his head speechlessly. He was a man with a net worth of more than 10 billion. Su Wanqi obviously thought that Wang Zhong was bragging. But Wang Zhong wasn't in a hurry. He took out his phone and tapped on his bonds, stocks, and fund accounts. Su Wanqi was shocked when she saw Wang Zhong's net worth of over 10 billion. You're so rich. The young man in front of her was actually richer than her entire Su Group. Wang Zhong waved his hand indifferently and said, Low-key, now that you have seen my strength, it can be said that with my investment, you don't need a bank loan. Do you understand? Wang Zhong's words were naturally very easy to understand, and it also made Su Wanqi's heart itch. However, she didn't want to give up her rights. Everything in the company was her life. After that, Su Wanqi still refused to relent. In the end, Wang Zhong lost his patience. All right, since you don't want to sell, I'll wait for you to go bankrupt. At that time, it's the same to find your two brothers to cooperate. What? Su Wanqi was stunned. But they won't give you so many shares. But if I cooperate with them, at least I'll invest a little, and there's no risk. What do you think? Well, that's it. There's nothing more to say. I'll go first. Standing up, Wang Zhong suddenly smiled. Right, your company's problem may not be just this. You'd better go back and check the accounts. Maybe you'll be surprised. Anyway, Su Wanqi had nowhere to go. Wang Zhong wasn't in a hurry. He waited for Su Wanqi to express her opinion, and immediately left. Su Wanqi didn't chase after Wang Zhong, but she recalled Wang Zhong's words. Check the accounts. Is there a problem with my company? Su Wanqi's heart sank. She thought of Chen Jiqiang. Chen Jiqiang suddenly went to work for her two brothers. Was it really like what he said to infiltrate the enemy? She didn't dare to think about it anymore. She immediately called her secretary and asked the finance department to check the accounts. Chen Jiqiang was washing his feet comfortably. He was used to living a poor life. Now that he finally had some spare money, he spent some money to wash his feet from time to time. Looking at the little sister in front of him, Chen Jiqiang smiled. Little sister, where are you from? Yanzhou. The little sister smiled sweetly. Oh, is that so? This little sister was pretty. Unfortunately, this place was legal. He couldn't touch her. So he thought of money, and prepared to spend some money to keep this little sister to solve his needs. But at this time, a phone call came in. This phone call was from Su Wanqi's secretary. Because he was worried that Su Wanqi would check the accounts, he bribed the secretary to tell him immediately if Su Wanqi checked the accounts. Chen Jiqiang picked up the phone uneasily. His face sank. Damn it, they actually checked the accounts. But it's okay. Fortunately, I'm prepared. Chen Jiqiang was very proud. He was indeed a genius. He was already prepared. There were two things he was prepared for. First, he told Su Wanqi about his embezzlement. Second, he threatened Su Wanqi not to call the police. Otherwise, he would expose Su Wanqi for falsifying the accounts. In order to get the company on the right track, Su Wanqi had falsified a lot of accounts under his suggestion. If these were found out, Su Wanqi wouldn't have a good time. The second thing he prepared was Mao Jianhua. If Su Wanqi fought to the death, Mao Jianhua would have to take the blame. Anyway, in his eyes, Mao Jianhua was his bootlicker. When the time came, he would promise Mao Jianhua some benefits. Mao Jianhua would definitely agree to it. Thinking of Mao Jianhua, he couldn't help but think of Mao Jianhua's wife, Yi Leiqian. If Mao Jianhua was arrested, he might be able to hook up with Yi Leiqian. But he felt that it would be difficult. Yi Leiqian was a very pure girl. She kept her chastity. What, Chen Jiqiang? You really embezzled so much of my company's money. The next day, Su Wanqi had actually found out about some of the accounts. What surprised her was that Chen Jiqiang actually took the initiative to confess. Yes, but Wanqi, I have my difficulties. Difficulties? Hee. What difficulties can you have? Su Wanqi sneered. She wanted to hear Chen Jiqiang's explanation, and then call the police to bring him to justice. At that time, I owed some money. If I didn't do it, I would have been hacked. I did it because I wanted to pay back the money and work hard for you, Chen Jiqiang explained. At this time, you can still find such an excuse. Su Wanqi was really convinced. She couldn't believe that she had trusted him so much in the past. She even thought of accepting Chen Jiqiang's pursuit. Now that she thought about it, all of this was an illusion. Chen Jiqiang wasn't a good person at all. Don't say any more, Chen Jiqiang. What awaits you is the severe punishment of the law, Su Wanqi said bluntly. Is that so? Chen Jiqiang made up his mind. Su Wanqi wasn't understanding at all. If that was the case, there was no need to spoil her. Okay, you go to the police. When the time comes, people will know that you falsified the accounts. Anyway, we'll be finished. What? Su Wanqi, have you forgotten that I falsified the accounts for you? You're not a good person either. Why do you have to pretend? Chen Jiqiang, I didn't expect you to be this kind of person. I already said that I just took some money. I have my difficulties. In short, I'll say it here. If you call the police, I won't let you have an easy time. But if you're fine, I promise I'll help you. At this time, Chen Jiqiang was still fantasizing about getting Su Wanqi. When he thought of Su Wanqi, Chen Jiqiang even felt that this feet-washing girl in front of him was too ordinary. Compared to Su Wanqi was more conquering. You bastard, so it was premeditated. I was wrong to believe you. Su Wanqi knew that she couldn't do anything to Chen Jiqiang. She helplessly hung up the phone. What should she do next? For a moment, Su Wanqi was at a loss. At this time, she thought of Wang Zhong, but she quickly shook her head and rejected it. For the next few days, bad news came one after another in the company. That hateful Chen Jiqiang not only embezzled, but also used several projects in the company as a tool to accumulate wealth, causing the progress of these projects to be very slow. Oh, my sister is still here? On this day, Su Wanqi's brother, Su Qingke, came to the company. Su Qingke, what brings you here? Su Wanqi said coldly. She knew that Su Qingke came to see her make a fool of herself. Naturally, she wouldn't welcome him. Ha ha ha. I heard that you have financial problems. The company is now unable to make ends meet, and is about to close down. In order to prevent this from affecting the headquarters, the board of directors asked me to come and take a look. No need to look, I'm fine here, Su Wanqi coldly said. Su Qingke naturally wouldn't leave so easily. This time, he came to attack Su Wanqi. Ha ha ha, yes, it's good that you're fine. But sister, the board of directors said that they're going to check the accounts. If they know that you've done something fishy, I'm sorry, even if I don't put justice before family, others won't ignore it. Su Wanqi clenched her fists tightly. She knew that once she failed, she would never be able to make a comeback. Hey sister, tell me the truth. You're a girl, why do you have to work so hard? I think that Chen Jiqiang is a good person. Why don't I act as a matchmaker and you marry him? When the time comes, I'll give you a big red packet and wish you have a child soon. Su Chinka said in a mocking tone. Thank you for your kindness, but I don't need you to introduce me. I don't like that Chen Jiqiang. Ha ha ha. Okay. Su Chinka said a few more words and left. Su Wanqi took out her phone and called Wang Zhong. Chapter 595. Wang Zhong received another call from Su Wanqi. Just as he had expected, Su Wanqi was really at her wit's end. She invited Wang Zhong to the tea room once again. Mr. Li, I agree to your conditions, but can I make the decision when the time comes? Seeing Wang Zhong again, Su Wanqi did not talk much but spoke directly. Wang Zhong smiled and said calmly, I'm sorry, but I'm going back on my word. Su Wanqi was stunned. What do you mean? I said I'm back. 51% of the shares is too little. Mr. Li, you're taking the opportunity to extort me. Su Wanqi was so angry. She hated people who took the opportunity to extort others. Wang Zhong said, This is not extortion, but a matter of interest. Your way of asking for help is blocked, right? I can invest in you now, but it's risky. Then what do you want? Su Wanqi said in a deep voice. 80%. Wang Zhong said bluntly, What, you're too outrageous. Su Wanqi did not expect Wang Zhong to be so greedy. She immediately shook her head. Impossible, it's too outrageous. I won't agree. Well, if you don't agree, the final result will be that you are kicked out. When you lose power, do you think you have the capital to turn things around? You won't. Do you know? Not only will you not turn things around, but you will be even worse. Do you know why? Because your two brothers want you to live a miserable life. By the way, you will get married in the future. Your husband will definitely be bullied, and then your son and daughter will live in a low-security household. Don't say that your two brothers will give you a meal out of consideration for your family. They are not children anymore. When your father dies, they can't wait for you to die. I believe you have the same idea, right? In other words, now is your last chance. If you lose this opportunity, you will never be able to turn things around. And if you accept my conditions, you will be the winner. Although you give me your benefits, you can trample your two brothers under your feet, and even take back the Su group. Think about it. Wang Zhong's words set off a storm in Su Wanqi's heart. After thinking for a long time, she finally said helplessly, 75%, okay? Su Wanqi still wanted to fight for more benefits. In addition, I have the decision-making power in that place. The final decision-making power will definitely be mine, but I will allow you to continue to be in charge. After all, you spent a lot of effort in that place. I will be relieved if you are in charge. Wang Zhong had thought about this a long time ago. After all, he had never been in charge of a big company. All right then. Su Wanqi nodded helplessly. To her, this was the best ending. There was no other way. Then 75%. I'll keep 25% of the shares, Su Wanqi said. Ha 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 ha. Su Wanqi turned pale with fright. What do you want? I promise you 25% of the shares, but you have to pay something. Su Wanqi had always been a virgin. In the face of Wang Zhong's hands, she immediately grabbed the fruit knife on the table and nervously broke free. Don't mess around. This was Su Wanqi's instinctive reaction. In the past, she had encountered many people who wanted to touch her, but she angrily refused. She would not allow anyone to do this to her. Upon seeing Su Wanqi's huge reaction, Wang Zhong was quite surprised. If you mess around with me, even if I don't want your investment, I will die with you. Su Wanqi shouted angrily. Okay. Seeing her reaction, Wang Zhong chose to compromise. Actually, I quite admire you and thought you would agree. Since you don't agree, then forget it. But I have one last condition. Since Wang Zhong could invest in her, Su Wanqi nodded and said, Say it. Kiss me. Impossible. Su Wanqi gritted her teeth. Think about it. Just one kiss, and you will get such a good benefit. Otherwise, it will only be 20%. Wang Zhong looked at Su Wanqi with a smile. It was not easy to become a scumbag in this life. He could not be too honest. An honest person would suffer a great loss. This Su Wanqi in front of him must be conquered. But there was no need to rush. He had to take it step by step. Okay. But just one kiss. You can't have any other intentions. Of course. Wang Zhong shrugged. Su Wanqi thought about it. Although it was her first kiss, it was still worth it. After all, she had 5 more shares. Looking at him carefully, this Li too was not very old-fashioned. He looked okay. Thinking of this, Su Wanqi's heart was filled with resentment. She secretly thought that Wang Zhong was too impatient. With his qualifications, if he were to pursue her, she would have agreed to it even if she tried to push him away. Why did he have to suddenly attack her like this? It made her feel like she was stuck between a rock and a hard place. How embarrassing. Although she thought so, Su Wanqi did not give up. Just one kiss. Don't think about doing anything to me in the future. Then Su Wanqi leaned over and kissed him. Well, work hard in the future. Don't let me down. Wang Zhong was satisfied. In the next few days, when everyone thought that Su Wanqi could not make it, they heard that Su Wanqi received a large investment. This investment not only revived the company, but also made the project go smoothly. They did not even need a bank loan anymore. This made everyone in the outside world turn pale with fright. They really wanted to find out who the investor behind this was. It was a pity that under Wang Zhong's instructions, Su Wanqi did not announce his name. She only said that a big boss had invested in it. After knowing this, Su Wanqi's 2 brothers gritted their teeth in anger. In the end, they ordered Chen Jiqiang to find out who invested. After all, Chen Jiqiang came from Su Wanqi's side. Every time Chen Jiqiang bragged to these 2 brothers that Su Wanqi still wanted to reconcile with him. Now that this happened, they naturally asked Chen Jiqiang to come over and ask. On this day he came to the hotel. Because the Dahai Bay Water Park was under construction, Su Wanqi moved to the top floor of the hotel for convenience. Chen Jiqiang knew the situation from the secretary, so he came over. His purpose was simple. He pretended to give Su Wanqi information about her 2 brothers and find out who invested. Li Tu, why did you ask me to come over so early in the morning? At the same time, Yao Bing and Wang Zhong entered the hotel. She looked at Wang Zhong with some resentment. What do you think of this place? Wang Zhong said with a smile. Of course this hotel is beautiful. I know. You asked me to come over to get a room with me, right? That's what you're thinking. Yao Bing turned pale with fright, her face filled with disappointment. Wang Zhong was dumbfounded. He now had a deep understanding of how this woman's brain worked. But since Yao Bing said so, Wang Zhong smiled and said, Well, then I want to get a room with you. Do you agree? Of course not. Yao Bing snorted arrogantly. Okay. Actually, I have something to discuss with you. Let's go upstairs and talk. Okay. Yao Bing nodded silently. Wang Zhong shook his head helplessly. She obviously agreed, but she still pretended to be like this. She was indeed arrogant. They went upstairs. While Yao Bing was in despair, Wang Zhong succeeded in making her docile and obedient. After that, Wang Zhong said, You can come to work here in the future. I'll let you be the manager and help me. Yao Bing used to be a management student. Wang Zhong believed that she would gradually get the hang of it. Manager? Isn't this hotel owned by the Su Group? Yao Bing was surprised. It's already considered mine. Wang Zhong said indifferently. What this place is yours. Of course I'm the chairman here. Yao Bing was stunned. Although she didn't know the market here, she had seen some news and roughly knew the price of this place. This guy actually said that he was the chairman here. Yao Bing found it unbelievable. How did you suddenly become the chairman here? I bought it. It must be a lot of money, right? Of course, but money isn't a problem for me. Yao Bing realized that Wang Zhong probably didn't have a few hundred million, but tens of billions. Okay, let's not talk about this. You'll work here in the future, understand? I can't do it. You have to do it even if you can't. I gave you such a big house. Just treat it as working for me in the future. Wang Zhong's words were abnormally overbearing, but Yao Bing didn't refute. She muttered a few words, which could be considered as a fact. After that, Wang Zhong and Yao Bing went downstairs. He was going to send Yao Bing back and let her pack her things before coming to work. When they went out, Wang Zhong raised his eyebrows. He didn't expect to meet an acquaintance here. An old acquaintance, Chen Jiqiang. After Chen Jiqiang came here, Su Wanqi obviously didn't want to see him, but he didn't give up. Firstly, he had a heavy responsibility and must see Su Wanqi. Secondly, he thought that Su Wanqi was still interested in him. After all, he was very outstanding. He was a very talented person. If Su Wanqi wasn't a fool, she must still be interested in him. The reason why she didn't want to see him now might be a test. That's right, a test. When the time was over, he believed that Su Wanqi would know how good he was. Therefore, Chen Jiqiang was prepared to wait for a while. Unexpectedly, when he was waiting, he saw Wang Zhong and Yao Bing coming out of the hotel. Especially when Wang Zhong's face was full of comfort and Yao Bing's face was full of shyness. He wasn't a fool. He had spent dozens of yuan to find women in alleys many times. Therefore, he knew what had happened between the two at a glance. For a moment, Chen Jiqiang's heart was burning with jealousy. He was so outstanding, but he didn't even touch Yao Bing's hand when he talked to her. He wanted Yao Bing to know that he was a gentleman. He didn't expect that she would fall for Wang Zhong's money. She was a gold digger. Yao Bing. Chen Jiqiang sneered. Yao Bing naturally saw Chen Jiqiang, but she acted as if she didn't see him and left with Wang Zhong. Wang Zhong hugged Yao Bing tightly and said what a villain would say. "Oh Bing Bing, isn't this your ex-boyfriend Jiqiang? Jiqiang, what a coincidence." Chapter 596. Facing Wang Zhong's provocation, Chen Jiqiang snorted. "Yao Bing, you said you had nothing to do with Li Tuesday. You two have been together for a long time. You are indeed a gold digger. Li Tu, let's go. Don't talk to this kind of scum." Yao Bing did not want to cause any trouble and turned to leave. However, Wang Zhong was curious why Yao Bing was here. He asked Chen Jiqiang, "What are you doing here?" The hotel's CEO, Su Wanqi, invited me here." Chen Jiqiang smoothed his tie and said proudly. After all, Chen Jiqiang was a person who liked to show off. In fact, everyone liked to show off, including Wang Zhong. However, others had a reason to show off. For example, when Wang Zhong showed off that he was rich, he was really rich. However, Chen Jiqiang liked to talk nonsense. Su Wanqi did not want to see him, but he said that Su Wanqi invited him. Wang Zhong could tell that Chen Jiqiang was talking nonsense. He smiled faintly. "I see. Where is she?" "Don't worry. She is busy now. She will come out when she is done." With that, Chen Jiqiang turned to Yao Bing and said, "Fortunately, I broke up with you early. That's why I was able to find the best woman in the world. Not only is Boss Su a member of the Su group, but she's also the one who's in charge of the surrounding projects. And I'm her closest helper. Once this is over, I can be with Boss Su." Chen Jiqiang's intention was to show off. After all, Su Wanqi did not know these two people. It was not too much for him to brag. Sure. Seeing that Chen Jiqiang was so good at bragging, it would be embarrassing if he did not expose him. Therefore, he immediately sent a message to Su Wanqi, asking her to come down immediately. "I sent a message to Su Wanqi to see if what you said is true." Wang Zhong said faintly. "What do you mean?" "You know Wanqi." Chen Jiqiang was stunned. "Of course you know her. She listens to me the most." Ha ha ha. What a joke. Chen Jiqiang was amused. He thought that Wang Zhong had learned to brag like him. Unfortunately, he did not learn the essence of it. His bragging was based on facts. For example, he knew Su Wanqi, worked with her, and helped her. But what about Wang Zhong? He didn't even have a draft before bragging. He was simply a moron. "It's okay if you don't believe me. President Su will be here soon," Wang Zhong said calmly. "I don't know what to say to you right now. Even if President Su comes down, he'll look for me." Chen Jiqiang felt that his test was almost over. Su Wanqi should be coming down soon, right? Sure enough, he soon saw Su Wanqi rushing out of the hotel. She was still as beautiful as before, which made Chen Jiqiang excited, because Su Wanqi was looking at him. Although she seemed to be frowning and unhappy, he could understand. After all, he had embezzled so much money. Su Wanqi would definitely be unhappy, but at least she had come out, which meant that she still had a good impression of him. "Wanqi," Chen Jiqiang smiled. He was prepared to let Wang Zhong and Yao Bing see that he Chen Jiqiang was very outstanding. Didn't they see that President Su came to see him? Presidently, what did you call me for? But what made Chen Jiqiang dumbfounded was that after Su Wanqi frowned and looked at him, she didn't even care about him. Instead, she respectfully went to Wang Zhong. This Chen Jiqiang said that you have a good relationship with him. He even said that you're pursuing him. Oh right, you came out to see him, right? Wang Zhong smiled faintly. I'm pursuing him? Su Wanqi was speechless. She looked at Chen Jiqiang and said, Are you crazy? This, that. Being exposed in public made Chen Jiqiang's face burn. He didn't know what to say for a moment. What he couldn't figure out was when Wang Zhong became President Li. Why was Su Wanqi so polite to him? President Li, this Chen Jiqiang is a former employee of my company. He embezzled a lot of money from the company. I only found out later. But I didn't expect that besides being insatiable, he's also very good at bragging, Su Wanqi said coldly. Oh, so you didn't pursue him? Wang Zhong ridiculed. Any man I find on the street is better than him, Su Wanqi said without any trace of politeness. Wanqi, I know you hate me, but you can't speak against your conscience. Being criticized by the woman he liked was a big blow to Chen Jiqiang. His face was extremely ugly. I speak against my conscience. Chen Jiqiang, you think too highly of yourself. Forget it, Chen Jiqiang. You heard Su Wanqi's words. You're not welcome here. Get lost. Wang Zhong waved his hand. Wanqi, I can leave, but I really care about you. Can you tell me how you got the funds recently? Chen Jiqiang asked eagerly. This was a task given to him by his two bosses. He must complete it. President Li invested in me. Now you know? Su Wanqi said. President Li. Chen Jiqiang's eyes narrowed and looked at Wang Zhong. Yes, it's me, Chen Jiqiang. What do you want to say? This? Chen Jiqiang was stunned. Security, don't let this person in the future. Su Wanqi didn't want to say anything more. She bowed respectfully to Wang Zhong and said, President Li, where are you going? I happen to be free. I'll send you. Okay. Wang Zhong nodded. Yao Bing also looked at Chen Jiqiang with disappointment. She secretly thought that she was really blind to think that Chen Jiqiang was a talent. Now, Yao Bing only felt disgusted by Chen Jiqiang. After Chen Jiqiang went back, he reported Wang Zhong's situation truthfully. Su Wanqi's two brothers were naturally furious. Unfortunately, it was too late. Wang Zhong had already cooperated with Su Wanqi. Now that they had the funds, the Dahai Bay Water Park project was quickly on track. A year later, under Su Wanqi's suggestion, Wang Zhong contracted the water park project. It was also in this year that Su Wanqi's father died. For a time, while the Su family was grieving, they also began to fight for the rights of the Su group. Chen Jiqiang, you've been with me and my brother for more than a year. Unfortunately, you don't have the ability to create any value for us. That's fine, but you actually embezzled our money. On this day, Chen Jiqiang stood in front of Su Wanqi's two brothers with his head lowered, trembling. He didn't have a good year because he wasn't valued here. He only did the most basic work, so his salary wasn't high. After a few months, he made up his mind and secretly embezzled a sum of public funds. However, it was much more difficult to embezzle here because he wasn't the leader. It was easy to be found out. As a matter of fact, he was found out early in the morning, and was then called to the office. General Manager, give me a chance. My mother is sick. I didn't want to. I did it for my family. Chen Jiqiang was crying in snot. Unfortunately, his acting was useless in front of Su Wanqi's two brothers, who were cruel and merciless. The two of them stared at Chen Jiqiang coldly. The younger brother said, Don't play this game with me. I'll give you two choices now. Yes. General Manager, please speak. The first choice, will call the police immediately. You'll go to jail immediately. General Manager, don't do this. I've worked hard even if I didn't make any contributions. I choose the second choice, Chen Jiqiang said in pain. He was a very talented student. If he went to jail, his future would be ruined. He still wanted to reach the peak of his life. Okay, the second choice. You know that my father is dead, right? Yes. My condolences, General Manager. Condolences, my ass. This is a good thing. If that old man didn't die, how are we going to divide the inheritance? But now there's a problem, and that's my sister. My sister has a lot of money now, because of the Dahai Bay Water Park. This is very troublesome. General Manager, what do you mean? Pa. Su Wanqi's brother threw a small bag of white powder and sneered. You know my sister after all. Ask her out for a meal, and put this down. Then you can do whatever you want with her. Ah. Chen Jiqiang was stunned. He was afraid and worried. But more than that, he was happy. If he could really get his hands on Su Wanqi, he would be elated just thinking about it. But soon he frowned. It was very simple. It was comfortable, but what would happen next? Su Wanqi would definitely call the police. That would be troublesome. General Manager, it's not that I don't dare, but what if she calls the police? What are you afraid of? Didn't you say that she likes you? Chen Jiqiang often liked to brag, so Su Wanqi's two brothers believed him. She likes me a lot. But even if I sleep with her, it's useless. You're really stupid. Sleep with her, take some photos, and then call a few black men. Do you understand? Ah. Chen Jiqiang was stunned. At the same time, Chen Jiqiang suddenly understood that Su Wanqi's reputation would be ruined. It was imaginable that if these photos and videos were leaked, it would be a huge blow to Su Wanqi. Not only would it affect her career, but also her family. Chen Jiqiang even knew what the headlines would be. Dahai Bay Water Park General Manager Su Wanqi fights 10 black men at night. When the time comes, when the headlines are out, I'll see how my sister will compete with us. Su Wanqi's two brothers laughed. Chen Jiqiang, you can choose between these two options. They were not worried that Chen Jiqiang would not agree. It was very simple. They had evidence of Chen Jiqiang's corruption. If he did not listen, they would call the police and let Chen Jiqiang go to jail. Sure enough, Chen Jiqiang agreed. Su Wanqi, don't blame me. I'm a person with a net worth of hundreds of millions in the future. I can't go to jail. That day, Chen Jiqiang contacted Su Wanqi. Wanqi, there's a very big thing that I want to inform you about. It's about your two brothers. They want to deal with you. Deal with me? Yes, have you forgotten? Back then, I said that I joined your brother's department to gather information. Now I've found a very important piece of news. Are you free? Let's meet. I've made a reservation at a restaurant. Chapter 597. Directorly. After hanging up the call with Chen Jiqiang, Su Wanqi knocked on the door of Wang Zhong's office. Yes, Director Su. What's the matter? Wang Zhong was playing with stocks when he saw Su Wanqi. Chen Jiqiang called me. Previously, Wang Zhong had told Su Wanqi to report to him if Chen Jiqiang contacted her. So Su Wanqi came in. Chen Jiqiang called me and said that he has news for me. He also asked me out. I'm thinking if I should reject him. Su Wanqi didn't like Chen Jiqiang at all. She even hated him. So she didn't want to see him at all. Why should you reject him? You should agree and see what he's up to. Agree? That's right. It hasn't been long since your father died. For Chen Jiqiang to ask you out at this time, I suspect that it's your two younger brothers' idea. If you agree now, we can see what they're up to. If you refuse, they'll think of ways to deal with you. Wang Zhong patiently explained. Okay, I'll agree. Let's see what he's up to. Su Wanqi then said worriedly. But what if he's up to something? What should I do? Don't worry, I'll follow you. Wang Zhong had hired a lot of bodyguards recently. He was going to bring them along this time, just in case. Okay. In the evening, Su Wanqi came to a restaurant that Chen Jiqiang had agreed to meet at. After entering the private room, Chen Jiqiang stood up politely. Wanqi. Yes, Chen Jiqiang. Su Wanqi glanced around the room. She was familiar with Chen Jiqiang's character, and knew that he wouldn't be so kind. So she was very vigilant when she came in. Wanqi, I've ordered your favorite coffee. Chen Jiqiang was confident that he was indeed charming. He easily asked Su Wanqi out. Unfortunately, he used Su Wanqi's affection, which made Chen Jiqiang uncomfortable. However, he quickly shook his head. So what if he used her? He was going to have a net worth of hundreds of millions in the future. For his future, sacrificing Su Wanqi was nothing. Moreover, he could slowly reconcile with Su Wanqi in the future. In the end, he felt that Su Wanqi had feelings for him. After all, he was very outstanding. He was just a little unlucky. Just like the game that he had designed previously, no one was willing to invest in such an awesome game. He felt that it must be because his game design was too advanced, that no one was interested in it. Su Wanqi glanced at the coffee on the table and said, "Sorry, I don't drink coffee now." After being cheated by Chen Jiqiang, Su Wanqi felt disgusted whenever she saw Chen Jiqiang. "Not drinking anymore?" Chen Jiqiang smiled awkwardly, secretly thinking that he was lucky that he didn't pour the powder in the first place. "Then I'll order you a drink." Chen Jiqiang pressed the service bell. "Waiter." While the two of them were talking, Wang Zhong was eavesdropping on the room through the listening device on Su Wanqi's body. In the car, he yawned. This Chen Jiqiang was really good at talking. First, he tried to get close to him. Then he showed his concern. Then he talked about the days when he worked with Su Wanqi. As he spoke, Chen Jiqiang sighed. He talked about the embezzlement at that time, and said that he had no choice but to do it for his family. He was definitely not greedy. From the looks of it, even he believed what he said. Unfortunately, Su Wanqi already knew his true colors. She didn't believe a single punctuation mark of his words. "Okay, let's not talk about that. Tell me why you called me here today." "It's like this. I accidentally found out that even your younger brother wants to deal with you," Chen Jiqiang said. "Really?" Su Wanqi wasn't surprised. It would be strange if her two younger brothers didn't want to deal with her. "Yes, I'll show you the evidence and methods later. Eat something first." Chen Jiqiang ordered steak and some other food. Su Wanqi actually didn't want to eat, but since the other party had the ingredients, she ate some. During this time, Su Wanqi went to the toilet. When she came back, she saw that Chen Jiqiang didn't have any intention to talk. Su Wanqi frowned and said, "Chen Jiqiang, we can't find out what we want to talk about. You can talk about the business now." Yes, I'll talk about it right away." While Chen Jiqiang was talking, Su Wanqi felt that something was wrong. Her head was a little dizzy, and there seemed to be two double images of Chen Jiqiang in front of her. This made her frown. She felt that something was wrong. "Wanqi, what's wrong with you, Wanqi?" Chen Jiqiang called calmly. At this moment, his heart was as still as water, but he wanted to laugh wildly. So what if she was a goddess? She was still played in the palm of his hand. He had made up his mind to play with her first, and then let the 10 black men in. When the time came, the reporters would come. In the car, Wang Zhong was originally sleepy, but after hearing Chen Jiqiang's voice, Wang Zhong seemed to understand something. I knew that Chen Jiqiang didn't have good intentions. Sure enough, this kid actually has this idea. However, Wang Zhong didn't act immediately. Instead, he listened to the sounds in the house. Chen Jiqiang said, "Wanqi, it seems that you drank too much. Let me help you upstairs." Chen Jiqiang smiled. He had already booked a room upstairs. Next, it was time to have fun. However, just as he helped Su Wanqi out, Wang Zhong appeared in front of him. Li too. Because of his guilty conscience, Chen Jiqiang was very scared for a moment. "Chen Jiqiang, what are you going to do?" "No, nothing. Su Wanqi's body is not very good." "Is that so?" Wang Zhong waved his hand, and several bodyguards behind him stood in front of Chen Jiqiang. Su Wanqi was supported by Wang Zhong. My head is so dizzy. I think I have no strength," Su Wanqi murmured. It was obvious that this drug was indeed very strong. At the same time, Su Wanqi's breathing became heavier. Hot, so hot. If this continued, Su Wanqi would do something embarrassing in public. There was no other way. Wang Zhong quickly helped her upstairs. Although Chen Jiqiang didn't want Wang Zhong to take advantage of him, he didn't dare to say anything with several bodyguards around Wang Zhong. "It's so hot." As soon as he helped Su Wanqi into the room, Su Wanqi fell on the bed and cried out in pain. Wang Zhong sighed softly. This drug was really powerful. He just sat there, and Su Wanqi actually slithered up to him like a snake. It could be imagined that if Chen Jiqiang was here, he would probably be taken advantage of. But this time, Wang Zhong was happy. He got a big advantage. Anyway, the listening device was still on. Even if Su Wanqi complained tomorrow, she couldn't do anything. After all, this drug was given to her by Chen Jiqiang. Then, Wang Zhong was naturally pressed down by Su Wanqi. After a sleepless night, Su Wanqi slowly woke up the next day. Looking up at the ceiling, Su Wanqi frowned. Her head hurt. For a moment, she couldn't think of why she was in the room. She only remembered chatting with Chen Jiqiang. Chen Jiqiang kept saying that he found her 2 brothers and wanted to deal with her. However, Chen Jiqiang didn't get to the point. She felt that Chen Jiqiang was talking nonsense, but there was no evidence. So she didn't want to be entangled and wanted to leave. However, she didn't expect that at that time. She remembered that she was dizzy. I was drugged. Su Wanqi remembered and felt terrible for a moment. Feeling the big hand on her waist, she wanted to cry but had no tears. She didn't expect Li Tu to take advantage of her. But at this point she didn't blame Wang Zhong. It was very simple. If it wasn't for Wang Zhong, she would have ended up worse. Compared to Wang Zhong, she was more willing to have something happen with Wang Zhong. You're awake. Wang Zhong pinched Su Wanqi without hesitation. Don't touch me. Although Su Wanqi accepted her fate, she couldn't be so easily subdued. Why? Are you blaming me? Su Wanqi didn't speak. Wang Zhong continued. Don't blame me. You can only blame Chen Jiqiang. He drugged you. Then can't you leave me here? Su Wanqi said in a dissatisfied tone. Sigh, Su Wanqi. I don't want to, but you should know your charm. You're very beautiful. Facing your initiative, I can't control myself. I can only say sorry. Humph. Although Su Wanqi snorted, she was actually happy after hearing Wang Zhong's words. She secretly thought that her charm was indeed very good. But soon, she felt Wang Zhong's restlessness again. Don't mess around. Last night was just an accident. We can't have anything else. Is that so? Wang Zhong was amused and explained. Do you know what Chen Jiqiang prepared for you yesterday? What? Su Wanqi didn't understand. 10 big black men. What? He actually wants to do that. Not only that, my bodyguard also saw 2 tabloid reporters in his room. Yesterday, after his bodyguard caught Chen Jiqiang, he forced him to open his room. Everything in the room shocked him. After thinking about it carefully, Wang Zhong instantly understood Chen Jiqiang's intention. He wanted to ruin Su Wanqi's reputation. So you have to thank me. How do you want to thank me? Su Wanqi gritted her teeth. I don't lack money. You can do it. Following which, Wang Zhong continued, Su Wanqi really accepted her fate. After that, she didn't resist at all. She even seemed to enjoy it very much. But after this, Chen Jiqiang went back unlucky. Because he didn't do things well. Su Wanqi's 2 brothers directly called the police and sent Chen Jiqiang to prison. According to Yi Leiqian's story, Chen Jiqiang went in after Mao Jianhua. Yi Leiqian naturally proposed to divorce Mao Jianhua and said goodbye to Mao Jianhua. Wang Zhong was no longer interested in these 2 people's affairs. He wholeheartedly focused on building his Dahai Bay water park. At the same time, Wang Zhong handed over the business of the intermediary company to Su Xiaoyan. Although Su Xiaoyan didn't come from a high family, she was willing to endure hardships and was willing to learn. So she learned quickly. Yao Bing was now managing the hotel for Wang Zhong. This job wasn't complicated, and she did a good job. Although she was very arrogant now, she was usually obedient to Wang Zhong. Only when they were together in private did she act high and mighty. Wang Zhong understood that Yao Bing was playing with him. Chapter 598. Now Su Xiaoyan and Yao Bing were very obedient. Only Su Wanqi still kept a distance from Wang Zhong after that. However, Wang Zhong didn't plan to let her go. She was a good woman. Most importantly, she was very capable. With her help, the Dahai Bay water park had developed so well. Therefore, Wang Zhong had to keep her by his side. Unfortunately, Su Wanqi was indeed a woman from a big family. At first, she didn't want to accept Wang Zhong. But it didn't matter. Since he wanted to be a scumbag in this life, he would be a complete scumbag. If she didn't agree, he would threaten her. Ring. On this day, Su Wanqi was working when a phone call came in. Wang Zhong's voice came. Boss Su, come here. Hearing this voice, Su Wanqi was in a dilemma. She gritted her teeth, because she knew why Wang Zhong was looking for her. She wanted to refuse, but every time she refused, Wang Zhong would say, "Then you can leave. The company doesn't need you anymore. Someone else will be in charge." As the chairman, Wang Zhong had the right to appoint people as he wished. No one could say anything. Su Wanqi had no choice but to agree to Wang Zhong's request. Of course, Su Wanqi had accepted Wang Zhong in her heart, so she didn't have any resistance. Fortunately, Wang Zhong didn't completely ignore her. He often bought her things and gave her some comfort. Helplessly, she came to Wang Zhong's office and closed the door. "What's the matter?" Her tone was cold. Wang Zhong raised his eyebrows and said, "I miss you. Come and sit." Su Wanqi hesitated for a moment, but still walked over and sat on Wang Zhong's lap. This was now a tacit understanding between the two. When Wang Zhong was bored, he would call Su Wanqi over from time to time to play. As for what to play, it would depend on Su Wanqi's performance. After more than an hour, Su Wanqi frowned and said, "Can you not let me come to work in the future? So you want me to find someone else?" Wang Zhong smiled. Su Wanqi snorted and didn't say anything. After being with Wang Zhong for so long, Su Wanqi had gradually accepted Wang Zhong. In the past, she had imagined finding a Prince Charming. He didn't have to be rich, but he had to be talented. But now, as her experience grew, she felt that talented men were just like that. Sometimes, when she was with Wang Zhong, although he was a bit of a jerk, and she knew that Wang Zhong had 2 other women outside, it was fine as long as she didn't hate him. Sometimes, she comforted herself by telling herself that injections were just injections. "Anyway, you already have Yao Bing. She works in the hotel downstairs. You can look for her." Su Wanqi snorted. "Hey, don't you think your figure is better?" Wang Zhong flattered. This flattery made Su Wanqi very happy, but she said helplessly, "I feel like I've gained a lot of weight recently." "Is that so? Not bad. I like chubby girls. I'm old. I'm not a girl." Although she was happy, Su Wanqi still felt that she had gained a lot of weight. Now that she thought about it, it was mainly because she was getting busier and busier in the company. She didn't even have time to work out now. Oh yeah, since the water park and residential area next to our hotel are completed, let's start to attract investors in that residential area. We can open a fitness club next to our hotel. Su Wanqi suggested. That's not a bad idea. Wang Zhong patted his stomach. Now that he had money, he also felt that he had gained a lot of weight. He needed to work out. "Okay, you can do whatever you want. I believe you." Su Wanqi's plan was quickly implemented. In the blink of an eye, Wang Zhong was 28 years old. Now he was much more mature. As the chairman of the Dahai Bay Water Park, he had several residential areas under his name. They were all developed by him. Now he was considered a celebrity in the city. Many big business owners knew that there was a young man named Li Tu, who used to be a delivery boy but suddenly rose to fame. The outside world calculated the wealth under his name. It added up to tens of billions. In fact, these people didn't know that Wang Zhong had foreign bonds and funds in the stock market. At that time, Wang Zhong didn't take out all of his money to develop this place. Now he still had 5 to 6 billion outside. Even so, Wang Zhong relied on the assets under his name to become a small boss in the city's rich circle. Sometimes when a big boss invited him to a meal, he would often be invited. God knows how many beautiful women would throw themselves at him. However, Wang Zhong wasn't someone who would casually accept just anyone. When he accepted Su Xiaoyan, it was because she was honest. With her managing the company, she wouldn't mess around. Yao Bing's words were because she was lucky. Sure enough, with her around, one's luck was good. In fact, when Yao Bing and Chen Jiqiang were together, Chen Jiqiang's luck was also very good. Mao Jianhua was by his side to help him and accidentally met him. If he was still the old Li Tu, his money would have been swindled by Chen Jiqiang. This was fate. Therefore, Wang Zhong took Yao Bing back and indirectly caused Chen Jiqiang's luck to hit rock bottom. As for accepting Su Wanqi, there were 2 reasons. First, Su Wanqi was very capable. Second, The feeling of conquering Su Wanqi made him feel very good. Hello, Director Li. I'm Luo Chengwen. Please take care of me in the future. On this day, a young man came to Wang Zhong's office. This person was the son of a big company's CEO. Perhaps to let him gain experience, he contracted the management of the amusement park. As for the amusement park and the water park, Wang Zhong certainly wouldn't do it all by himself. After all, no matter how rich he was, he still needed to cooperate with others. Firstly, it was to share the risk. Secondly, he didn't have the energy to do it all by himself. Therefore, he let Luo Chengwen contract the management of the amusement park. Every year, Luo Chengwen would give Wang Zhong a certain percentage of the income. It was considered as a rent. Hello, Director Luo. In the future, the amusement park will be handed over to you. I hope you can promote it more. Of course. By the way, this is the first time we meet. I brought some red wine from my father's collection. Luo Chengwen smiled and took out the red wine he brought. This time, he also came to build a good relationship with Wang Zhong. His father said that when they contracted the amusement park in the future, they must build a good relationship with Wang Zhong. He and Wang Zhong were about the same age, so they should get along well. Therefore he came. Luo Chengwen was also ambitious. He felt that it would be helpful for him to know more rich people. Wow, this red wine is quite expensive. Wang Zhong was now also knowledgeable about some luxury goods. At a glance, he could tell that the red wine was worth a lot. It was at least more than 1 million yuan. It's okay. By the way, I wonder if Director Li is interested in going to the amusement park's completion ceremony today? You can also play some of the rides there. Of course, I'll definitely go and have a look. The other party was so polite, of course, he had to give some face. Luo Chengwen nodded excitedly. Please. Well, I'll ask Director Su to come with me. Wang Zhong called Su Wanqi and told her about going to the amusement park together. The three of them took a car to the amusement park. The entrance of the amusement park was already surrounded by a lot of people. This Luo Chengwen was indeed quite capable. In a short period of time, the amusement park's popularity had spread. The opening ceremony was held very smoothly. In the evening, Luo Chengwen even invited Wang Zhong and Su Wanqi to have dinner together. When they went to eat, Luo Chengwen specially called a girl. Soon a sweet-looking girl ran over. Luo Chengwen, I was still busy just now. What are you looking for me for? Zhao Shishir, this is Director Li. And this is Director Su. We'll go to eat together later. You should also come with us. When Luo Chengwen saw this girl, his whole person was a lot more energetic. Obviously, he had a special feeling for this girl. Luo Chengwen, I'm here to work, not to eat with you. Do you understand? Zhao Shishir looked very angry. I'm sorry, Shishir, I didn't mean that. I don't care what you mean. In short, please respect me in the future. Okay, Shishir. Then can we eat together? Luo Chengwen said pleadingly. I don't want any special treatment. Luo Chengwen, do you understand? Sometimes I feel very tired here. I don't want to be gossiped about. Zhao Shishir looked very helpless. This made Luo Chengwen feel even more guilty. I'll let it go this time. Zhao Shishir sighed and greeted Wang Zhong and Su Wanqi. Luo Chengwen was relieved. Then let's go. Wang Zhong, who was watching from the side, was speechless. Luo Chengwen was too humble in front of this woman. This Zhao Shishir was indeed somewhat beautiful, but compared to Su Wanqi, her temperament was a lot worse. Moreover, from Zhao Shishir's clothes were not very good. It could be seen that her family background was ordinary. At first glance, Luo Chengwen was a tall, rich, and handsome man. He was good-looking, had a good family background, and was very hardworking. Such a man should be pursued by many girls. But now he was pursuing such an ordinary girl. The key was that Zhao Shishir looked like she wanted to be strong and independent. Wang Zhong found it very interesting. From this, he could see that Luo Chengwen was an infatuated man. During dinner, Zhao Shishir and Su Wanqi went to the toilet together. Luo Chengwen said to Wang Zhong helplessly, Director Li, did I lose face outside just now? In order to pursue this girl, Zhao Shishir, I gave up a lot. It's okay. The main thing is that you like her. Wang Zhong smiled. Yes, I do like her very much. But I don't know what you like about her. From the looks of it, she doesn't seem to care about you. Wang Zhong said bluntly. Thank you, Director Li, for not beating around the bush with me. In fact, I did pursue her. I can't help it. Zhao Shishir is the best girl I have ever seen. You know, she is very independent. In order to not let me help her, she would rather find a hard job. I was the one who begged her to come here. Even if she came here, she would not allow me to help her. Once, I gave her an extra 1,000 yuan as a bonus, and she argued with me for more than an hour. Wang Zhong wanted to laugh when he heard it. Was this a good girl? In his opinion, it was not. This was simply a white lotus. What this girl did was to show off. To put it bluntly, she was fishing for rich guys. Chapter 599. The reason why Wang Zhong thought that Zhao Shishir was acting cool was not without reason. It was very simple. This girl kept saying that she didn't want Luo Chengguan to give her special privileges, and didn't want Luo Chengguan to take care of her. But in the end, Luo Chengguan often took better care of her, and she finally accepted these benefits. If she wasn't a white lotus, then what was she? Such a girl was like Yi Leiqian. In the eyes of outsiders, Yi Leiqian was very pure. Otherwise, Mao Jianhua wouldn't like her so much. But in fact, Yi Leiqian was doing her own business outside. It was as if she was a different person. Wang Zhong had seen countless people, so it was easy for him to see Zhao Shishir's appearance. This woman was relying on the fact that Luo Chengguan was a devoted and infatuated man. Hey Mr. Li, I see that Mr. Su is so good to you. Can you teach me how to deal with women? To be honest, Shishir is giving me a headache. Luo Chengguan said helplessly. Mr. Su is good to me. Yes, Mr. Li. I can see that you two are a good couple. Luo Chengguan smiled and then continued. Hey, if only I could be as good as you, making the person I like obedient. Wang Zhong also tacitly agreed to his relationship with Su Wanqi. He smiled and said, Why? Can't you handle Zhao Shishir? As you can see, Zhao Shishir is too outstanding. She is a self-reliant and self-reliant woman. I wanted to take care of her, but was rejected by her. Sigh. But then again, if I can get her, it will be my lifetime's blessing. Luo Chengguan sighed. That's because your method is wrong. Mr. Li, do you really have a way for me to make Shishir obedient? Of course, and it's very simple. Wang Zhong said lightly. Mr. Li, you must help me. To be honest, in order to pursue Shishir, I have a headache. I dream of her every day. I have to be careful in front of her. It makes me lose face in the company. Wang Zhong sighed. Originally, he didn't want to get involved in these troublesome matters, but since Luo Chengguan was his partner, Wang Zhong didn't want Luo Chengguan to lose control of the company because of women. Therefore, he had to give Luo Chengguan an idea. Actually, with your qualifications, it's very easy to chase girls. After all, your appearance, family background, and job are all pretty good. No, Zhao Shishir is not the kind of person who is greedy for external appearance. She is a person who values her inner self. Luo Chengguan hurriedly explained. Wang Zhong was amused. Have you ever thought that she's keeping you in suspense? Whetting my appetite. That's right. Although it's a little unpleasant to hear, it's also the truth. Think about it. You've helped her time and time again. Although she criticized you and clearly rejected you, didn't she still accept your help in the end? Wang Zhong had seen many women like this. In a sense, Yao Bing was the same. However, the difference was that Yao Bing had taken the initiative to ask Wang Zhong to help her with something. Although Yao Bing said no, she had actually accepted Wang Zhong in her heart. Moreover, when Yao Bing dissed Wang Zhong, it was all private matters. In front of outsiders, she gave him enough face. When Yao Bing said no, it had actually become a matter of interest between the two of them. However, this Zhao Shishir was a bit of a bitch. She clearly said that she didn't like Luo Chengguan, but she accepted Luo Chengguan's gift. If you have the guts, then don't come to work. Wang Zhong's words were a little harsh, and it seemed to have awakened Luo Chengguan. However, Luo Chengguan still felt that it was inconceivable. He defended Zhao Shishir. Director Li, although that's the case, I think it's all because I must help Zhao Shirshir. After all, she originally rejected me. I can see that she's not a materialistic girl. But in the end she accepted your help, didn't she? Then directorly you mean? It's very simple. If you want to get her, don't spoil her. Don't spoil her. Wang Zhong's words surprised Luo Chengwen, because he had never heard of this argument in his life. Yes, there are indeed girls in this world who don't care about material things. But there will never be a person who doesn't care about material things, character and appearance at the same time. No, you must have misunderstood Shirshir. She's very good. Luo Chengwen was deeply infatuated with Zhao Shirshir. Wang Zhong's words were definitely not right. Then how about this? Didn't Zhao Shirshir say that she doesn't like you, and doesn't like the arrangement you made for her? Then let her suffer a little. Wang Zhong said in a different way. That's not appropriate, right? I don't want her to suffer. Then, do you want to get her? Of course, I want her even in my dreams. But she has no feelings for me. Wang Zhong could see that Luo Chengwen was good at everything except for his lack of confidence. Then listen to me. Suffering a little is nothing. Doesn't she want to rely on herself for everything? Then don't spoil her. If you can't do it, I'll do it for you. Will it really work? Wang Zhong's words made Luo Chengwen have a different idea in his heart. Wang Zhong struck while the iron was hot. Think about it. Let you suffer a little. When she can't stand it anymore, you can help her. Won't she be more grateful to you? Seems like it. In fact, Luo Chengwen was not stupid. It was just that Zhao Shirshir had him under control before, so his brain couldn't think for a while. However, after Wang Zhong's reminder, Luo Chengwen immediately reacted. How about it? They're coming back soon. Wang Zhong smiled faintly. Okay, then how should I make Zhao Shirshir suffer a little? I can't do it. Okay, I'll help you when the time comes. Then I'll have to trouble you brotherly. After chatting for a while, Su Wanqi and Zhao Shirshir returned. Zhao Shirshir naturally didn't know that Luo Chengwen had already decided to make her suffer a little. She was still very arrogant, and thought that she was giving Luo Chengwen face by coming over for dinner. After eating, Luo Chengwen originally wanted to show off and send Zhao Shirshir back. However, after Wang Zhong's reminder, he didn't say anything. Shirshir, then take a taxi back later. I'll leave first. Zhao Shirshir was stunned. This was different from what she thought. Based on her understanding of Luo Chengwen, this bootlicker, Luo Chengwen should be in a hurry to ask to send her back. Then, she would use her way of dealing with men and tactfully reject Luo Chengwen. Moreover, she would say to Luo Chengwen that there was no need to send a man and a woman alone. Luo Chengwen would definitely continue to ask to send her back. At that time, she would pretend to be helpless and let him send her back. At the same time, she would let him feel that she was a good woman. She wasn't so easy to woo. This would make Luo Chengwen even more obsessed with her. But now Luo Chengwen actually didn't send her back. Moreover, after Luo Chengwen finished speaking, he directly left. Zhao Shirshir felt a little confused. However, she wasn't a pushover. She wasn't that easy to bully. She had already figured out Luo Chengwen's mentality very clearly. That was, she had to pretend to be noble in front of him. Only in this way could he pursue her wholeheartedly. Therefore, she didn't beg Luo Chengwen. After nodding to Wang Zhong and Su Wanqi, she left very proudly. After they left, Su Wanqi said in surprise, I can see that Luo Chengwen likes that girl very much. Oh, then tell me why Zhao Shirshir ignored Luo Chengwen? I don't know, but there are only two reasons. Either she's not interested in Luo Chengwen, or she's keeping him in suspense. Su Wanqi's analysis was right. Wang Zhong smiled and said, I think she's keeping him in suspense, so I just asked Luo Chengwen to do this. Then, Wang Zhong told her what he just said to Luo Chengwen. Su Wanqi's eyes widened. You're too bad. What if that girl just wants to find a better man? Besides, you're just guessing. Maybe she really doesn't like Luo Chengwen. Well, how about we make a bet? I dare say that the girl is keeping Luo Chengwen in suspense. Luo Chengwen is ignoring her now, and even deliberately finding some hard work for her to do. After a few days, he'll be able to subdue her. Do you think it's that easy? It's true. I don't believe it. Then do you dare to bet? Let's bet. If it's not like what you said, you're not allowed to let me go to your office during the day. Su Wanqi gritted her teeth and said, Okay. Then let's do it at night. Wang Zhong smiled. But what if I'm right? What do you want to do? When the time comes, I'll buy you some clothes. You have to wear them for me. What the hell are you thinking? Just tell me if you're willing or not. Su Wanqi thought about it. She lost the bet. Anyway, it was just wearing a few clothes. It wasn't a big bet, so she agreed. The next day, Zhao Shishir came to work at the amusement park. Her current job was to manage some staff. She was very satisfied with this job, because she didn't have to do very tiring work. Instead, she managed a lot of staff. This made her feel very accomplished. Of course, in front of Luo Chengwen, she still looked like she didn't want to do it. She reminded Luo Chengwen several times that she had to rely on her own ability. President Luo. As soon as Zhao Shishir arrived at her office, she saw Luo Chengwen and a group of staff talking about the next work. Seeing Zhao Shishir come in, Luo Chengwen nodded and smiled. Luo Chengwen, what are you doing here? Zhao Shishir said coldly. She said to the staff, Everyone go to work. Yes, Manager Zhao. After the group of staff went out, Luo Chengwen smiled and said, How is it? Are you used to it? I'm not used to it. In fact, I don't want you to take care of me. Do you know? If possible, I want to start from the bottom. Luo Chengwen said helplessly. Do you really think so? Of course. Do you know what the staff secretly said about me? They said that I'm a vase. They said that I relied on you to get to the top. You don't know how wronged I am. Zhao Shishir said angrily. In fact, only Zhao Shishir herself knew that the staff didn't dare to say anything about her. Especially a few beautiful women. They all secretly said that they envied her. This made Zhao Shishir very proud. Looking at the angry Zhao Shishir, Luo Chengwen was also confused. He couldn't help but think of Wang Zhong's words. So he nodded to Zhao Shishir. Well, from today onwards, I won't take care of you. Work hard. I believe you can do it. Chapter 600. Alright then. From today onwards, I won't take care of you. Work hard. I believe you can do it. Luo Chengwen's eyes were incomparably sincere. In fact, he was speaking from the bottom of his heart. Wang Zhong's words did indeed make him doubt Zhao Shishir's motives, thinking that she was keeping him in suspense. But more than that, Luo Chengwen decided to let go of Zhao Shishir. In his opinion, Zhao Shishir was a strong-willed woman. It was not good to restrict her. Since she was unhappy, then let her be. He would not take care of her. All right, I hope you will do as you say. I don't want people to say that I rely on you. Zhao Shishir said solemnly. She was not worried at all. Every time she said that, Luo Chengwen would still accommodate her. She had tried this trick time and time again. Well, I will definitely do as I say. If there's nothing else, I will leave first. I will give this position to the manager of another amusement park. You can start from the bottom. Before Zhao Shishir could react, Luo Chengwen had left. Zhao Shishir was stunned. Why was Luo Chengwen different from before? Shouldn't he be begging her to accept all the benefits like before? She waited anxiously until the afternoon. And finally, the person who would take over her position came. What made her even more speechless was that her current position was to clean the facilities in the amusement park. This work was not only a lot, but also tiring. Most importantly, she had to work under the scorching sun every day. If she continued working like this, wouldn't her delicate skin be tanned? How could this be? Zhao Shishir was hesitant. Did I go overboard with my acting? I shouldn't have tested Luo Chengwen like this. In fact, she was very satisfied with Luo Chengwen. He was rich, good-looking, and most importantly had a good temper. She had met him at a dinner table. After roughly understanding his character, Zhao Shishir took the initiative to approach him. However, when Luo Chengwen offered to help her, she refused. Because she wanted Luo Chengwen to know that she was an independent woman. She did not expect that Luo Chengwen would like her even more. Thus, she continued to pretend like this. But now, it seemed to be different from what she had imagined. She wanted to apologize to Luo Chengwen, but she could not bring herself to do so. Forget it. After all, Luo Chengwen still likes me. I'll work for a while. In the future, he definitely won't bear to let me suffer. When the time comes, I must be more reserved. As Zhao Shishir thought about it, she began her daily cleaning duties. What Zhao Shishir didn't expect was that Luo Chengwen hadn't come to her for a month. What she couldn't stand the most was that her salary had suddenly increased from 20,000 to 4,000. She was a young girl and knew that she had to take good care of herself. Her appearance was her biggest asset. However, a mere 4,000 yuan was not enough for her to spend. Finally, she found an opportunity. One time, when Luo Chengwen was at work, she deliberately fell in front of him. As she had expected, Luo Chengwen came over to help her. Are you okay? I'm fine. I just fell. Zhao Shishir looked at Luo Chengwen. She was waiting for Luo Chengwen to say that he should quit and return to his previous position as a supervisor. When the time came, she would pretend a little and then agree. However, she was disappointed. Luo Chengwen nodded and said, "Seeing that you're working so hard, I'm very happy. Work hard. I think you can do it." After that, Luo Chengwen turned around and left. Zhao Shishir didn't know what to say. She was extremely regretful. She should have taken the initiative just now to give Luo Chengwen some benefits. In the office, Wang Zhong hugged Su Wanqi and watched the scene of Zhao Shishir falling in the surveillance video just now. He smiled. How was it? Zhao Shishir wasn't originally working there, but she deliberately went there early in the morning to meet Luo Chengwen. Now you know that she was pretending, right? This isn't the end. What? This isn't the end? Wang Zhong patted Su Wanqi speechlessly. Zhao Shishir has already pretended to be like this. And you still say that it isn't the end? Of course, Zhao Shishir must call Luo Chengwen personally. That's the end. Su Wanqi snorted. Of course, she wouldn't admit defeat so easily. Okay, but if that's the case, it'll be more difficult for Zhao Shishir. What do you want to do? Wang Zhong smiled calmly and said, just watch me when the time comes. The next day, Zhao Shishir, who was thinking about how to get close to Luo Chengwen, received a piece of shocking news. In order to let her get enough exercise, the higher-ups arranged for her to clean the toilets. There was a large public toilet in the amusement park. People came and went every day, and the environment inside was naturally a mess. How could a little girl like her clean the toilets? Therefore, she immediately called Luo Chengwen. Luo Chengwen, you arranged for me to clean the toilets? Luo Chengwen said. Yes, didn't you say that you want to start from the bottom, and don't want to rely on me? I think I should respect you. You must be very happy now, right? Don't worry, you just have to do it well. When the HR manager thinks that you can do it, he will transfer you back to your previous position. I'm happy. Happy my ass. Now Zhao Shishir just wanted to cry. However, she couldn't bring herself to lose face. After thinking about it, she came up with a plan. Luo Chengwen, recently my mother asked me to go on blind dates. I may have to leave here. What? Luo Chengwen was anxious at this time. He originally intended to test Zhao Shishir, but he didn't want to see Zhao Shishir leave here, especially when the woman he loved was going on a blind date. How could this be? At this moment, Luo Chengwen was actually with Wang Zhong. The suggestion of letting Zhao Shishir clean the toilets was also proposed by Wang Zhong. Luo Chengwen was just about to beg Zhao Shishir to stay when Wang Zhong pressed on his shoulder, indicating that he shouldn't talk nonsense. Luo Chengwen was very anxious. He didn't understand what Wang Zhong wanted to do. Tell her that I got it. It just so happens that you're going on a blind date, Wang Zhong whispered. Luo Chengwen was a little confused, but after thinking about it he could only try. So he said, you're leaving? Well, it just so happens that I'm going on a blind date too. As soon as this sentence came out, Zhao Shishir's expression changed greatly. She finally knew why Luo Chengwen hadn't contacted her recently. He was definitely not interested in her. This made her extremely regretful. If she had known, she wouldn't have pretended to be pretentious and accepted Luo Chengwen earlier. This was a rare rich second generation that she had lived for so long. Actually, Zhao Shishir gritted her teeth. Luo Chengwen, actually, I don't want to go on a blind date. I haven't seen you for a few days, and I suddenly feel like I'm missing something. Can we meet? I'll treat you to dinner tonight. Luo Chengwen was ecstatic. Oh my God, his former goddess was asking him out. What a wonderful thing. He originally wanted to agree directly, but fortunately, Wang Zhong shook his head slightly at him and said, "Don't be so excited." Luo Chengwen understood in his heart, and his tone became calm. Dinner then. I'll see if I have time later. Zhao Shishir said. Oh, then I'll wait for your reply. Her tone seemed to be a little disappointed. Wang Zhong took Luo Chengwen's phone and said lightly, Now you see, as long as you ignore her, she will start to contact you. Bossly, then what do you think I should do in the future? Luo Chengwen was not stupid. He also knew that Zhao Shishir might have been hanging on to him before. For a moment, he felt that this girl had two faces. That depends on you. Do you like her? Yes, I do like her. I'm very happy when I'm with her. Although sometimes she's a little pretentious, when she's not pretending, she's quite good. She's very cheerful. If you like her, then get her. But don't spoil her too much, understand? Okay. Luo Chengwen went out ecstatically. It was obvious that he wanted to contact Zhao Shishir. Wang Zhong was not interested in the follow-up of these two people. Instead, he sent a message to Su Wanqi and told her the result. He also said that he had bought 2 sets of clothes for her to wear. Su Wanqi was very disappointed with Zhao Shishir. She did not expect this woman to be so two-faced. At night, she went to Wang Zhong's office. When she saw the clothes that Wang Zhong took out, she was stunned. One of the clothes was translucent, and the other was hollow. What was the difference between wearing these clothes and the female lead in a romance movie? No, how can I wear these clothes? Su Wanqi said angrily. Mr. Su, you have to be honest. You promised to make this bet with me. Wang Zhong said solemnly. That's not okay. Then I'm going to smoke it. Su Wanqi clenched her teeth. She felt quite helpless. But at this moment, Su Wanqi suddenly covered her throat and frowned. She wanted to vomit. Huh? What's wrong? No. Nothing. It's just that my body hasn't been very good recently. I've been wanting to vomit. No way. Wang Zhong's face became strange. Why don't you go to the hospital for a checkup? Okay. But to be honest, you're not pregnant, are you? It would have been fine if Wang Zhong hadn't said anything. Once he did, even Su Wanqi was shocked. Don't scare me. Wang Zhong spread his hands and said, It's really possible. Su Wanqi frowned. What should I do? I don't want to get pregnant before marriage. At this moment, Wang Zhong was also very helpless. In this life, he wanted to be a jerk. As a jerk, he needed to have a lot of girls around him. If that was the case, he couldn't get married. Do you want it? Wang Zhong asked seriously. Su Wanqi lowered her head and turned her head. I said, I don't want to get pregnant before marriage. Wang Zhong could tell that Su Wanqi wanted him to marry her. But he was still young. As a jerk, how could he get married so early? Then why don't we abort it? Wang Zhong took a deep breath and said helplessly. Su Wanqi looked at Wang Zhong in surprise. Then, she looked disappointed. Jerk, you really are a jerk. After speaking, Su Wanqi reached out her hand and slapped Wang Zhong. Hey, calm down. You'll affect the baby. You don't want the baby anyway. What's there to be afraid of? After speaking, Su Wanqi reacted. Since you don't want the baby, why are you afraid of me affecting the baby? Wang Zhong said helplessly. I was just joking with you. You're tuning in to the Earbook Haven YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.